Hey, everybody. Welcome to Mormonism Live. I'm Radio Free Mormon, and that guy over there, Bill Reel. So, I hope everybody had a great week. Now, you might be thinking this is very clever or annoying, at least, of me to do this. The truth is, I kind of accidentally did it, and I'm not sure how to undo it. It's got this ungodly echo. So, let me see what I can do about this, okay? I'm going to try and take one of me off the screen. It'll be this one. Let's see. Let me see if I took this all the way down. Not allowing me to do anything. Very good, very helpful. Okay, so let's see about this one. I can put this me on the screen. You can put me on the screen. Gone. That one's gone. I think that's it. Is there an echo? There's a bit of an echo still. Oh, this is so annoying. Okay, well, at any rate, hey, if I leave and come back, and it takes me like 30 seconds to do that, will you wait? Would you? Okay, hang on just a second. I'll be right back, okay? And then I'll put a link up for everybody so you can join. Okay. Let's see, there's, 99 people watching now. I want at least 99 when I get back. Alright. And I'm back, and there's 107 now. I should leave more often. It'd be good for ratings. Everybody, thank you so much. As I was backing out and closing windows, I saw that there was another window that was kind of over here to the side for some reason on the screen. I don't know how it got there, but, that's what it was, and no echo, so this is much better. So it is really not oh, it says I'm glad the one I kept was the Bill Reel name. I'm in the Bill Reel I'm just gonna leave it. Who the heck cares? Um, I'll change it later. I suppose an announcement should be made of some sort. I was looking a little bit at the live chat before the show started. I had a second here and there to glance, and I think some people were not aware that Bill's stepping away from the show. And DG was letting him know because DG had read it, and it was on, I think, Bill's Facebook page where he announced that. So it is just me. It is just I, as my mother would say. It is just I. A to be verb never ever takes an object. I didn't understand what that was until I was at least 60. But thanks, Mom. Anyway, yeah, it's just I. But I got my green on, my Irish green on. I have Irish in me on my mother's side. I don't know how many people out there have Irish in them as well. So I think at least the 16th Irish. My dad's side is more French and German and Swiss, and my mom's side is more English and Irish and Scottish. So my mom's last name, maiden name was Taylor. Her mom's last name, maiden name was Pierce. And her mom's last name, maiden name was Shannon. So I think I'm pretty okay wearing the green then. Let me see here. What can I do? I can take this. Oh, that's right. I went out and I came back in. So I closed everything out. I'm going to have to go to another window now so I can get the link to invite guests onto the show. That hopefully will work here in a second. I want to say it's been a heck of a week. This has really been a remarkable week. And I think all my shows that I do are important, not because of me, but because of the subjects I'm covering. I think some are maybe more important than others. Um, you may feel the same way. But last Wednesday's show with Sam Young, I thought that was a really important show. And mainly because he's a really important guy and did some really important things. And not that long ago, and should not be forgotten. And there were a lot of things that he said that I did not know that he was willing to share now. And I thought it was an incredible, incredible show. Now, you may remember on top of that, that this is going to be a Randy Bell week. It'll be a bellwether of sorts. But if you recall, he was on Radio Free Mormon last Saturday night along with Colby when we had our huge celebration after completing the Light on Truth letter, which took over a year. That was a huge project. If we'd known before how huge it would be, right? No, but we didn't. So we rushed in where angels fear to tread into the Light and Truth letter, and we got it done. We had a great celebration, but Randy was also there to help us out with the celebration. He's been a huge supporter of this project all along. We wanted to include him in person. But that was one appearance. Then you remember last Wednesday when Sam Young was on, we also had Randy on. And Randy was there mainly because of his friendship with Sam. I had said they were thick as thieves. You saw later on in the show how they had climbed Mount Kilimanjaro together and up at least to base camp, or toward base camp in Randy's case, on Mount Everest, for crying out loud. Yeah. So these guys, and they just do all sorts of great things together. They're very, very close. And I wanted Randy there as his friend, but also to help hopefully make Sam feel more comfortable. Because generally, if I can make people comfortable, they're more liable to be more comfortable sharing things. And maybe we'll get to hear things that we might not otherwise have. I don't know. It's a theory that I happen to agree with. So we did that. And then that's 2 Randy bells. The third bell is going to ring tomorrow because he's going to be on Radio Free Mormon again, but this time not just as a celebrant of me and Colby, but because he has discovered something which may indeed be significant to Mormon history studies. I will say this about it. We all know Randy, I think, mainly from Dartmouth. If we didn't go there, we know it because he has been gathering information and been around the horn and on numerous podcasts talking about the Dartmouth connection with Hiram Smith, and of course, Hiram Smith's connection with Joseph Smith, and the influence that he believes, he being Randy Bell, believes the Dartmouth education with Hiram ends up manifesting itself in a variety of ways in Mormonism as things go forward. And he's talked about that a number of times. What you may not know is that he has continued his researches at Dartmouth, and he has gotten the services of somebody who works at the library. And I apologize if I don't know all the correct terms, but basically he's got somebody who's photocopying for him all the sermons that were given during this time period at Dartmouth in the chapel, the Church of Christ chapel right there, either next to or on campus. And then having those transcribed digitally and made searchable. And now based upon that, Randy has something that he wants to share, and I'm very flattered he's going to share it on Radio Free Mormon for the first time. Something of some significance that those researches have disclosed. And I hope that's enough to get you to want to watch. That should be airing probably 6:00 p.m. tomorrow evening on Saturday, March 14th. And I'll probably make it 6:00 on Mountain Time because it may be somewhat long. Okay, so that's what's going to happen there. Today is March 13th. It is a Friday, making it Friday the 13th. Hey, there's Diamond Dave saying, we await the link to join. Okay. Let me just see if I can just put it in the right place. It says all destinations. I think that will be sufficient. So let me see here. No. Okay. Drum roll, please. I see it. Do you see it? Wow. Thank you, Diamond Dave. He really, really wanted that link. He was willing to pay $10 for it. And that signifies to me a lot of desire. But DG has now entered the studio. Hey, DG, I've got an assignment for you. But first off, hello, how you doing?
Good to see RFM.
I've got to add Diamond Dave to the studio too, since he just paid $10 for the honor.
Hey, I wanted to call in, and there's other people asking to call in, and you were talking, and I'm like, what, screw it. You have to pay money to get people's attention in this world, right? I live in Mongolia.
No,
That's
you
what
do.
you have to do.
And I'm sorry, because I was just wanting to say a few things, and then I was going to do it on my own right then, but I figured, hey, I made $10, and I appreciate it. I should say I have no idea how much I made. I think whoever made a bunch of stuff. Now, hang on a second, everybody, because here's Carissa Peck. Carissa, how are you doing? I cannot hear you.
You're muted. You're muted.
See, I hate saying that to people. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because I get it said to myself so much. Yes, Carissa? She's checking something. While you're doing that, let's bring Jared on. Hi, Jared. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Is that a Cadillac symbol on your shirt?
Yes, it is.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm giving myself extra credit for that.
Right on.
Nice.
You're good.
Why do you have a Cadillac symbol on your T-shirt?
Because I know someone who sells Cadillacs, and they gave me a freaking T-shirt.
Oh my gosh. Well, Carissa's there, but Carissa, no, still can't hear.
But yeah, I'd like to.
You guys got any great ideas for Carissa? Carissa, can you hear me?
She's
hear me.
gonna do.
She can hear.
Maybe she's one of those people who can only hear Diamond Dave, like last week.
We can't. Check if your microphone is being used by a different program. If your microphone is being used by a different program, it will not register on StreamYard.
There you go. I bet he's had to say that a few times to gamers.
Yeah, I do YouTubing and streaming, which is actually part. I mean, I want to hang out with you guys because you're amazing, but I have a question for you guys, because we all, as ex-Mormons, love our second Saturday, right? How would you guys like to have a second St. Patrick's Day? Because, so here's why. My birthday is on March 17th on St. Patrick's Day, right?
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. I'm doing a birthday live here in Mongolia on my YouTube channel on March 17th. But because it's going to be at 4 a.m. my time, it's going to drop 1 p.m. Pacific, March 16th your time. So you get to celebrate St. Patrick's Day on the 16th and the 17th.
So you're saying at 1 o'clock p.m. Now, I'm sorry, is that Pacific time?
Pacific time, yeah.
So 2 o'clock p.m. Mountain time.
Yep.
Next Monday.
Yep.
Next Monday is this coming Monday is the 16th, and 17th is St. Patrick's Day, and that's Tuesday. Happy birthday, by the way. So,
yes.
Okay, so where would people go if they wanted? What would that be like? Would that just be crazy town for them? And we've got
like 2 days of
cordially audience here.
Yeah, no. So what it is, it's my channel. It's pretty chill. So what I'm doing is I'm building a settlement in Fallout 4, right? So I'm building buildings, building farms, building whatever the viewers want me to build. So I'm going to be on this big, flat, empty island, and I just build and hang out with people. That's it.
Okay. Well, how would people find that place on 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific?
So I put it in the private chat.
You did?
Oh, yeah, I did, because we can't post links on your YouTube.
So you're saying I can?
You can, because you're the owner.
So if this were something that like was virally infected, and you gave it to me, and I blew up the entire StreamYard.
Yeah, no, it won't blow up the StreamYard. If you click it, it goes straight to like the actual YouTube video, the straight YouTube live. Just like if I were to click on your live, it's the same thing. It's just for my channel.
Okay, well, let me come back here. Okay, everybody. Here we go. What's that? B? No.
Trevor, can you build a BOM geography recreation? Here's a funny thing. I was talking about this on another podcast.
Tessa did it. Did Tessa do it? Okay, I did it right after you, Tessa. So it's up there twice. That should be the same link for David. Yep. Diamond Dave. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Diamond.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Someone said allegedly they were going to give me a super chat for me to build a Mormon temple with a baptismal font.
That would be a big super chat.
I think I have the mods to do it, and it's gonna be hilarious if it goes
Wow.
down the way I think it will. I just wanted to bring that up there, not trying to hijack anything, but I figured I'd slip that in since we all love second Saturdays and second St. Patrick's Days.
But this time the second St. Patrick Day will be the real one.
Yep. So I mean, you get an excuse to drink on 2 days.
Okay. I won't ask who needs an excuse, but there may be those out there, and I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to judge or look down on people who need an excuse to drink. Hey, DG, can you do something for me?
Yes, sir.
First off, let's see how Chris is doing.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yay. I switched to my phone. I do not know what's going on. I tried a bunch of different mics and they never picked me up on my computer. So,
Well,
hi, y'all. I'm excited to be here.
it's so good to see you.
I have a really random thing that I want to reference, but you guys were in the middle of another conversation,
please,
so I will wait
please.
my turn.
Please reference your random thing. And in the meantime, DG, could you go to Bill Reel's Facebook page?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, now go ahead,
So-
Chris, please.
RFM, like 3 weeks ago, you did the show about the Don Juan of Nauvoo, reading the book, and there was this throwaway reference right at the beginning. You were reading from the page where it was like the description of like the first of his book, like his letter to people. It was at the very first of the book.
Yes.
And there's just reading along, he was talking about how he had done some work, maybe written in Italy or something, and about the Passion Play in Oberammergau. And
Yes, and I mispronounced it, I'm sure.
maybe I probably
I had nasty
Anyway.
looking men in SS suits knocking on my door right after the show.
Well, you guys mentioned it, and I'm like, wait a second. I know what that is, and A, I know what that is, and B, it's a big part of my deconstruction story.
Yeah.
Oberammergau. And so I wanted to tell a little bit of that story.
Well, sure. Please. Is it about the Passion Play?
Yes, actually. Do y'all know what it is, or should I mention what it is real quick before?
Well, my understanding is a Passion Play is something generally from the Middle Ages, but they've kept it alive.
Mhm.
And basically, it reenacts the Holy Week, basically. And the Passion is the Passion of Christ leading up to his crucifixion and going on to his resurrection and ascension.
Yes. And this Passion Play in Oberammergau, they've been doing since 1633, every 10 years on the 10th year, like on the zeros, or 1634, I guess, because they made a covenant with God that if he would spare them from the bubonic plague, they would give their devotion to him by doing this play every 10 years.
He didn't
So-
spare them, did he?
He supposedly he did. There's one dude who rode into town with the plague. He died, and no one else died, is the story.
Who knew God was such a theater goer?
Right? So they've done it every 10 years except for some anniversaries. And ironically, because of the plague in 2020,
Yeah.
they had to,
That plague. Yeah. That plague
Yeah.
shut it down.
they moved it to 2022. So the most recent one was 2022. And it just so happens that's when I was finishing my executive MBA from BYU.
Oh,
And we went,
congratulations, by the way.
what's that?
Congratulations.
Thanks. It was an education, I tell you. I got into the U and I got into BYU, and I decided to go to BYU because it would help my testimony.
No?
Spoiler alert, it did not. Yeah.
Well, that's disappointing.
I mean, no, it was actually a very good thing. I got a good education on what it really means to be in the church, being in their executive
You keep
MBA
saying the
program.
word education and nodding and giving me a knowing look.
Yeah, education. I got quite the education. Anyway, I am like terminally ADHD, so I'm going to try really hard to like not get onto a side path here. The end of the MBA, we go on a business trip, a foreign business trip. It's part of the program.
Okay,
we
so
went-
Carissa, that's how you get to Germany, but you're in Utah.
Yeah, I am in Utah.
Not studying abroad.
No, not studying abroad, but we went for a couple, 2.5 weeks at the end of the trip, and that we got to go see the Passion Play because it had been delayed. So we got to go see it. And first off, it was amazing. I don't think the rest of my classmates really appreciated how awesome angry Jesus is. Like, it's in German, and he's like revolutionary Jesus and yelling about all the horrible things. It was amazing. And so I had this moment of going, wait a second, I don't think I believe in the same kind of Jesus as everyone else here. And then the next thing was we left it, Oberammergau. We went to London next, and it was the day before we were supposed to go home, except my now ex-husband and I were supposed to go to Ireland next because we were going to stay after and go to Ireland. And we get a text saying, hey, couple of people have tested positive for COVID, and everybody needs to test because you can't fly home. This is June 2022. So like you couldn't get on a plane unless you had a negative test. And my husband at the time looks at me and goes, if we have COVID and we don't get to go to Ireland, there is no God. I am leaving the church. And I'm like, okay, you're on it. Yeah, there were 4 people who wound up staying behind in London. We were 2 of them, my husband and I, and 2 other classmates. I'm sure we got it in Oberammergau. I'm sure we got the plague at the Passion Play a devotional, and it led to this really great conversation between me and my husband at the time. Like, I'm like, wait a second, you don't want to keep going to church? No, I don't want to keep going to church. We had not talked about it, but we'd both been like quietly deconstructing for years and years, and that was kind of like the final straw.
So it wasn't just because he missed Ireland?
It was not just because he missed Ireland.
If there had been theater involved, I'm sure God would have come through.
Right. But yeah, so Oberammergau was in a lot of ways kind of the last straw for us. It was the end of wanting to be a member of the church, and yeah, kind of where my post-Mormon story I kind of think starts.
Well, I just want you to know, it's not just that he's angry Jesus. That's just German Jesus.
Yes. However, also they are portraying his revolutionary spirit about, the injustices happening around him more than in how he was saying things.
Yes. And look what happened to him.
Right?
Hey, Carissa, thank you for sharing that story. Don't go anywhere. I mean, you can always leave whenever you want.
Okay.
But,
I will hang out for a bit.
Okay, great. Always welcome. All welcome. All welcome. This house has many hearts, and DG is living in one of them in West Texas. Hey, DG, do you have that Facebook page? You have the announcement that Bill made, and if so, can you read it to the audience? Because obviously not everybody saw it, so you can channel Bill.
Okay. I'm not going to be able to do a good impersonation of him, but
just don't
this
start
was
crying
posted.
in the middle.
I won't. I'll behave tonight. He posted to his Facebook page on March 9th at 1:05 p.m. He says, quote, I want to share a quick update with everyone about me and Mormonism After Dark. I'm going to be stepping back from the show for a while. I'll take a look at things at some future point and decide what makes the most sense moving forward. RFM did a great job running the show last week, and folks can expect to see more of his humor and style in a format that really lets him shine. Oh, Lord, help us all. For my part, this will give me some space to shift my attention to projects that have been sitting on the back burner for a while. I've got a lot of ideas I've been wanting to develop within the original Mormon Discussion podcast, and this is a good opportunity to start bringing some of those to life. He adds, Mormonism After Dark has been a fun experiment, more off the cuff, a little edgier, and a chance to explore conversations in a different way than we usually do. I'm proud of what we've built there and grateful to everyone who has tuned in and supported it, and hope you continue to do so. Over the next while, I'll be focusing on creating new content, digging into some bigger topics I've been wanting to explore, and putting fresh energy into projects that have been waiting their turn. Thanks, as always, for supporting the work we do. There's a lot more coming. Bill Real.
Thank you very much. Oh, wait a second. Here we go. Boy, but everybody wants to comment on this, but nobody wants to come on the show. Hey, if you want to use that link and come on the show, you can say your opinions here.
Hey, I got something.
It's hard for me to keep track. Have you ever tried to like put a comment up on the screen that's in the live chat? The thing is, they keep scrolling up as new comments are made, and the more comments that are made, the harder it is for me to catch the right quote that I'm looking for. So anyway, thank you for reading that and looking it up, DG. I appreciate it very much. I wanted to hear it from Bill, from in his own words is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So, Jared, what do you think about anything?
I got something I'd like to chat about, if you're down.
Yeah, what does cab out mean? Is that like Cabernet?
Did I say cab out?
I thought
said
you
chat
did.
about.
Chat about. Got it. That's the microphone.
I might have said it too fast. Yeah, so I called in on Wednesday night at the end of the Sam Young episode.
Yeah.
And I brought up how the church's their response to Natural or Bishop Natural or I guess
Ed Nachos. That's what I like to call him, because that would be a cool
the Natural
name.
guy. Their response to that and how they said that Elder Christofferson had reached out to legal authorities. And, you know, if you can interpret that however you want, but like to me, like if it was law enforcement, they'd say law enforcement, not legal authorities. So,
I remember you're the one who interpreted that as likely meaning Curtin McConkie.
Yeah, or whoever. It could have been Dallin, it could have been Dallas for all we know. He's a legal authority too, right? But I think they just they obfuscate and do those things on purpose. So you can take it however you want to take it, or most people. And then I kind of thought through that through the last few days, and I'm like, there's no way that the church legal authorities would ever allow President Christofferson to report that to law enforcement, because then he could be I mean, this is your area of expertise.
It's
not
being
mine.
recorded, for crying out loud. Who knows what he might say?
Well, even that, but then he could he not be subpoenaed to testify in a court proceeding if
Well, he certainly
did
can
that?
be deposed and then subpoenaed if necessary. But Jared, you know, you made me think of something here, okay? And what you made me think of was that Rebecca had sent me something she found somewhere. It might have been on Reddit, but someone was saying that based upon the church's statement, here are the things that D. Todd Christofferson has now denied, and like 6 things. He's denied this, he's denied this, he's denied this, he's denied this, all these things. And so if any one of these ends up being true, then he's obviously lying, right?
Right.
And I had texted back to Rebecca. I said, actually, D. Todd Christofferson didn't say any of those things. He had an anonymous third party say them for him in the third person.
And they're never going to allow him to be deposed. They're never going to allow him to be subpoenaed. It's just never going to happen. And then on top of that, I would like to share 2 stories really quick, if I could, about myself and my own personal experiences that kind of puts the church's policy on how they deal with youth and whatnot, what their standards are with, and what is required for an adult to work with youth, and how completely insane and psychotic and ridiculous it is. If I may, are you down? Are you
Sounds
pretty
like you
good
had
at
some
that
good
as well?
experiences.
What's that?
Sounds like you had some good experiences.
Well, so back in 2013, I'm going camping with my brother and our kids, and we're in a rush. We're trying to get out there. I go to buy groceries at the grocery store for this camping trip. I'm walking through there. I'm doing the grocery things. My brother calls me on the phone while I'm in there. I go through the whole thing. I'm hurrying as fast as I can. I buy a 2-pack of N-size batteries, or I don't buy. I take those because I'm gonna buy them. But as I'm talking to my brother on the phone, I stick them in my pocket, and I end up walking out of the grocery store.
You forgot to pay for them.
Yes, I
I'll
forgot to
bet that's
pay
what
for
you
them.
told
As
the
I'm in
police
the
officer
parking
too.
lot, reaching for my keys, I fill these batteries, and anyway, long story short, I get arrested for this whole thing, right? So I get arrested for it. That, if you want to piss off a cop, tell them you don't want to talk to him after they read your rights. They do not like to hear that. But I end up getting arrested, and then they cite me and release me.
Jared, if you had just told them, I made a mistake, I meant to pay for them, but I forgot they were in my pocket, I'm sure that would have cleared up the whole thing.
No, it didn't. I did that. Didn't do anything. they went full force on me.
That's why. Yeah. Okay.
So anyway,
how much are these batteries? You said in batteries? I don't know what in batteries are.
Well, it's just the size of a battery. Like, we're talking a $3. I spend $60 on groceries. I decide to screw the man and take a $3 pack of batteries for less than the tax. I
feel like I just cracked you like a nut on
Yeah, so
cross-examination.
anyway.
You're admitting everything now.
Yeah, well, so anyway, long story short, I end up going to court. I have to hire an attorney. My attorney, like, this ends up costing me like 400 times the amount of the batteries.
It's ironic, isn't it?
But anyway, he advises me to take a plea in abeyance. You know what that is. You enter your plea of guilty. It goes in abeyance if you stick out the terms of the agreement, if you don't get in trouble in the next X amount of time, which I think mine was a year.
Yeah, we call it something different up here, but yeah, it's the same idea.
Yeah, and then it's not supposed to go on your record, which that's a lie, because it does go on your record.
Well, not as a conviction.
What's that?
Just not as a conviction, right?
Right. And so anyway, that's over, done with. I go on. So, I'm the church comes out with the just serve thing that they do.
Mm-hmm. When was that?
This was probably 2015, 2016, somewhere in there. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
But it's a site you can go on, and they have a list of all these different places that you can serve in your community. So like some of it's like sewing blankets for this, or building hygiene kits, or whatever type stuff. I'm scrolling through there, looking at all this stuff. I'm like, well, which one would I be the most interested in? Well, I come across one that's they're looking for volunteers to become child advocates for the juvenile court, I assume, is what it,
Mm-hmm.
So you're the advocate between the child and their assigned attorney by the state. And so I was like, oh, that sounds fun to me, or, it sounds interesting anyway. So to do that, I have to go to a class, and I go to the class, and I can't remember how many weeks it was. It was like, I want to say it was a couple of nights a week for like a couple of hours each night. And then it was like 2 or 3 weeks long or something like that. But I tell the girl that's in charge of that that this might be a problem, that this is on my record, and I don't know if that's going to work for me doing it, right? And she assures me, she's like, oh, we'll deal with it when it comes. So I run the whole class, do that whole thing, and she comes to me, she says, you can't do it because of this plea in abeyance, right?
Right.
So that's, to me, I mean, here I am, I'm trying to be this advocate for children, right? Yeah. They're supposedly in abusive homes or whatever, right? Neglect, whatever. And the requirements are so stringent on that, like me, let's say I'm guilty, right? But I do all my thing. I still can't, I have a retail theft thing on my record, and I am not allowed to do this advocacy.
Right.
Okay, this
They're afraid
isn't
you'll be a
like,
bad influence on the kids.
well, yeah, whatever. It's a crime or moral turpitude or whatever you want to call it. But in the church, I mean, it's not like I did something with children. I didn't, anything like that.
Mhm.
But in the church, you can have that, and they don't even care. They couldn't care less. Even if they know, they don't know. And even in Wade's thing, like, he had the annotation on there, and they removed it.
Right.
And
Oh yeah,
in my
absolutely.
case, if
Fair
there was an
comparison.
annotation on my church record that I had retail theft on there, you think they would ever allow me to be executive secretary? Not
I
a
feel
chance
like
in
if you had
hell.
stolen, double A batteries, this all would have turned out differently.
Maybe. But I mean, that's just how ridiculous it is. It's like, I can't, I hold a professional license for construction,
Mm,
and
sure.
every 2 years I have to renew my license. Every 2 years, except for
Mhm.
now after this year, I finally got it expunged, so it's not
Jared,
on
do
my
you
record
build
anymore.
boats? Do you build
What?
boats? What do you build?
No, I don't build boats.
Okay.
I build houses.
Okay.
But so
Oh, I get it. That was an attempt at humor. That was a book of ether, the Jaredite barges.
no, well, that's not a boat. That's just two bowls in a hole
I know. That's
with a
why
rock in the
nobody
top.
got it. That's why only people in Lubbock got that one. But I explained it, so now all can partake.
Yeah, I get it now. But anyway, so my point is I've got to think, but so my point is like, I couldn't do any of that stuff, but you can if you're convicted, whatever. Like, oh, my point was, like, I have to renew my license every 2 years, and every 2 years I have to go in and I have to be honest and explain that I have this plea in abeyance on my record, and give
Right.
an explanation for it, so I can even go to somebody's house and drive a nail.
You know what I would do if I were you, if I were giving you some advice? Next time that happens and you go in and you explain about it, just say, look, I needed a fucking battery.
Well, I didn't need it that bad. I just
Now, see,
was
that's not
dumb.
going to work. You got to sell it. Look
Well,
at the camera and mean it.
well,
I
dude,
needed that
I
fucking
made that
battery.
lady that arrested me so mad because she wanted my social security number, and I'm like, who the hell are you? I'm not giving you my social security number. Are you insane? Like,
Are
what are
you
you going
sure
to do
she
with
was a
that?
cop?
So this must
Steal
have
my
been
identity?
this must have been before you invoked your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent.
Well, I invoked that. I'll vote that once the cops showed up.
Oh,
But
somebody else wanted your social security number.
yeah, the theft lady at the store did.
Oh, right. The one who detained you while the police made
Yeah,
you away. Got it.
yeah, she's the one that detained me.
Yeah.
But she wanted a lot of information she didn't need, which I didn't give her. But anyway, long story short, but I'm just saying that's how ridiculous the church's policy is. You can do, I can't go to your house and drive a nail if I get caught lying about that. But you can go in and confess to the bishop all you want. But if I confess to the bishop I stole some batteries or whatever, they wouldn't let me be the executive secretary in charge of tithing. I guarantee it.
No, probably not. Well, thanks for sharing that. Hang out if you like. Please, Jared. And let's go to Diamond Dave and ask him how are things in Outer Mongolia.
Pretty decent, actually. Things are pretty decent here. It's slowly warming up, prepping for the birthday, dealing with
For your birthday. I'm sorry. What preparations do you have to do for your birthday?
Honestly, I don't know, but I know that Mongolian culture and just other cultures in general, like every event is a family event. And like my wife has stuff planned that's a surprise. I've never celebrated my birthday even as a child. My parents didn't see a point in celebrating birthdays. I never saw a point in celebrating my birthday.
Wow.
But
Were they J-dubs or wolves?
Neither.
Wow. Just no birthdays for you.
Yeah. My mom was a Calvinist, and so she was very against Christmas.
And God
and then my
predetermined that you have no birthdays.
yeah, apparently.
A little
And
Calvinism
then
humor there.
yeah, I'm not too familiar with it. I spent my teen years not at home, so just trying to be away from that. So I'm not like terribly familiar with it, but I do know she was like very against Christmas, and that went away. And then my father was never big into it because his family on his side is like predominantly Hindu, and Christmas isn't a thing there. Just like Christmas is not a national holiday here in Mongolia at all. Schools are open, banks are open. It's just another day.
Yeah. Yeah. In Japan, on my mission, they actually do observe Christmas, though not to the extent that we tend to, but they always have a Christmas cake.
And it's
Mhm.
fried chicken. It's fried chicken, not turkey.
What, Alex?
It's fried chicken, not turkey.
In Japan?
Yeah. Can you guys hear
Okay.
me? This is a new mic, and I'm not sure if it's on.
Yeah,
or
you go get
working.
the KFC bucket.
You're
Yeah.
sounding really sexy, so I think it's working.
Oh my God.
Alex, he's getting you back for those daddy comments.
Yeah.
Look at that microphone. What brand is that?
It's a Rode pod. Well, it's a prototype, and it was originally developed on the way towards Rode, which is a microphone company. Their
Rode?
Rode, RODE.
Yes.
Podcaster. So it looks a little bit different. It even has the LEDs in a different position. But this microphone was pretty popular for a while. But I got a prototype because a friend of mine used to work at the company. So I wasn't sure if it still works or not, but I guess it does.
I got to say, that was a much longer answer than I anticipated, but worth every
Well,
word.
knowing the way you pose questions, I thought I'd cover all the bases before you said something else.
Well, thank you, because I was definitely going to want to find out every single detail about that microphone.
Indeed.
It's so good to see you, Alex, the Never Mormon. Hey, Molly, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, RFM?
How are things in New Jersey?
My sister's in New Jersey. I'm in North Carolina. Thank you very much.
It's so much less romantic.
What are you talking about? We're the best Carolina. I don't know how that's not romantic.
Is that what you tell yourselves in North Carolina so you can sleep at night? We're the best Carolina, when everybody knows
Listen,
it's always been South
we
Carolina.
are the best Carolina. And it's like North versus South Dakota, North versus South Carolina. We just win.
Is it Raleigh?
No, I'm not in Raleigh. I am beachside.
What's the capital?
Raleigh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what I was trying to do and see if I could
okay.
remember from my youth when I memorized all the capitals of all the states in the Union.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. You know, my dad used to tell me, remember, he's old enough to be my granddad. So, but he used to tell me, he'd say, he'd remind me about the story about the kid who spent all this time memorizing all the presidents of the United States in order, only to find out that nobody really wanted to hear him.
Sad day.
That was my dad. That was a nutshell moment for my dad. That was a screen grab moment for my dad. All
Love
right.
it.
Well, it's us. So I guess nobody else wants to join. Hey, I'm going to put this on here again because I think maybe it scrolls up. Oh, wait a second. No, I'm not going to have it. What I'm going to have is Dave's thing. Okay.
My birthday live. Yeah, I'm actually doing something for my birthday, which is weird. Someone asked if it's a major birthday. No, I'm turning 37. I'm just gearing up for my midlife crisis.
It's major for you.
Is it? I mean, like, I feel so. My thing about birthdays is like it's a big thing for my wife's family, and yes. Fine. But for me, it's like New Year's, right? The Earth goes around the sun, and humans lose their shit, right? Like for no reason whatsoever. I was dumped into this world bleary-eyed and bloodstained 37 years ago because my dad got drunk one night. Like we're celebrating. I don't get it personally, but
Dave, look at it as everyone who loves you is celebrating the fact they get to spend another year with you.
This is my first year with them, though.
Is your mother still living?
As far as I know, I don't talk to her really.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Okay. I was just
Yeah,
curious
it's been
if she
months.
would interpret your birth as a dump. I'm just wondering.
Knowing her,
No.
probably.
She would never have let him go to freaking Mongolia. You'll know the sign. The sign, by the way, there's DF. Hey, DF. Diamond Dave, the sign when you have a midlife crisis, when you'll know that you're experiencing it, is when you go out and buy a red sports yak.
A red sports yak. Well, when my dad had his, he bought a purple Scion. If you don't know what a Scion is, it's a four-door car. It's a box, and it's a chromatic purple. And that was like years ago. And I haven't talked to him since because that's just fucking weird. So, like,
it could happen to you. I mean, you could shave, get a crew cut, and then join the military.
Well, no, here's the thing. Before I used to have a Marine Corps high and tight, like through my teen years an adult here, and was like completely shaven. So maybe this is the sign of the midlife crisis. I turned into like Jesus, apparently. But
no, your midlife crisis is you got married. So I don't know.
Say 37. Get ready for perimenopause, baby.
Well, I'm 49, and I have yet to experience any of the stress or moral panic that some of my friends have experienced.
Every year that goes by before you have it, the worse it gets.
Okay.
So when did it hit really bad?
When did it hit you?
When did it hit me?
Mr. Real.
Here's the thing, okay. My midlife crisis passed during my 22-year sentence in the basement, being chained in the basement and fed on buckets of fish heads. So that was really a horrible time. There are a couple of good things that came out of it. And one of them is that if you're actually experiencing something that's worse than a midlife crisis, when your midlife crisis happens, it makes it so much easier to get through because you actually want to die.
Oh, well, then by that, okay, then maybe I just won't have one then.
Yeah.
Because my life has been chaotic.
Ladies in the chat, I need some help back up here. Do any of you ever have a midlife crisis? All I'm going through is perimenopause. So where's my midlife crisis? I think I'll trade. I'll trade with any of you.
DG looks like a man who's been through a severe midlife crisis. Can you help out?
Well, after the tarot reading for me last week, I'm not sure. I mean, we may create a vortex of, some kind of destruction here, rip the space-time fabric or something. But I don't think you're even close to midlife. You're not close to midlife yet. So you still have a ways to go. But, if you want to look forward to your midlife crisis like I did.
Tell that to my doctor. All I'll say on that, tell that to my doctor.
Oh, you only have one doctor? I have several.
Let me put it to you this way. I don't have a need because there's no point, and I'll leave it at that.
And I disagree with RFM. I don't think it's a red yak. I think it's like a red cebu, right? Do y'all have cebus there in Mongolia, or is it a GNU?
I know they're talking about cebu from Veggie Tales.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's like more Peru.
Oh my gosh. So DG, have you been through your midlife crisis yet? And do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, it started about a decade ago, but I'm still working on it. So
yeah.
Did this coincide? Did it coincide or not coincide with your faith crisis? I'm curious.
Preceded it. I think it preceded. It certainly exacerbated the faith crisis. I think the faith crisis was a result of the midlife crisis, but it's hard to say which came first. It's kind of like the chicken and the egg. Was it a faith crisis and then a midlife crisis, or vice versa?
I'm going to bring in DF here in a second, but I think that whole midlife crisis thing was synopsized beautifully in one line from a movie, The Bridge on the River Kwai, and I think it was Alec Guinness.
Yeah,
Colonel Bogey who got to say it, and he said, in a reflective moment, he said, "There comes a time in a man's life when he realizes he's closer to the end than to the beginning." And even as a teenager and seeing that hit me. Of course, that was never going to happen to me. I was never going to be closer to the end than to the beginning, for crying out loud. People ask if I'm having a midlife crisis. I say, hell no, I'm having an end of life crisis. DF. We've been watching your entire house as you walked around. You live in a nice place. I like it. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Did you connect with Colby? Because we tried to, scare
I
Colby.
I have not yet. I plan to get a hold of him. I think I can probably find him on Facebook and message him there. But yeah, I'd love to meet him. This is interesting. Right. You guys talking about a midlife crisis here because a few months ago I quit my job, and I've been actually looking to try to find a new one for a number of months, and I just got one earlier today.
Woo!
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
The reason why is because you watch this show. I just want you to know that there's a connection.
Wow.
I'm really happy you got a job today. Do you mind telling us anything you want about it, or?
Address,
no, I'm gonna keep that part to myself. But I will say that I'm 44 years old. So if that's midway, that if I live to 88, that would be midway. So I guess I'm in the right category.
Not much chance of 88, really. I mean, really.
Oh, you don't think so?
Not really.
You don't think?
Not unless you're going to start living that word of wisdom more religiously than I expect you are right now.
You're dashing my hopes, RFM.
Excuse me while I take a sip of my coffee here. Just a moment.
Were you taught in the church after you joined that serving a mission was the tithing on your life up to that point? Because that's what I was taught. Serving a mission at 18 for the next 2 years would have been the tithing for my life up to that point. That was one of the.
I remember that, but yeah, I guess that makes some sense.
Yeah.
Tithing on your life.
2 out of the first 20 years.
The Mormon God is so ingracious, isn't he?
Ugh.
It's like everything has strings attached. And I'll give you this, but you got to give me that.
He's like a toddler who doesn't actually know what he wants and is having a fit about it.
So listening to a great number of stories about Mormons and their experiences, I get the impression that not one Mormon had the same experience coming up, either in seminary or through their mission, or even after that. Everyone's experience is different. That's very strange. You ask most Catholics and they will tell you relatively the same story. Their baptism, the first time they took Eucharist, their confirmation, and so on, and when they got married.
Alex, I can think of an exception to that. And that's probably every Mormon's first temple experience when they go through for their own endowment. I don't know a single member yet that has said, "Oh, I learned so much, would recommend it."
Versus,
it was so weird.
I met
Everybody
Cthulhu
would just keep
and
their mouth shut. It was so bizarre and so weird. We just don't talk about it because
Cthulhu's tentacles came out behind the viewing the screen, and
my mother literally sat next to me and physically held me in my seat during it, and I had to act as Eve for my very first one, and I was
really
annoyed.
Wow. Your mom must have been so proud.
She was convinced that a certain part in the movie, basically when Eve flips it around and eats the apple and the whole thing, she figured I would get upset and be like, why are we blaming the women? Like that whole part. And I'm like, I already knew that part. I'd already grown up knowing that all of mankind blamed women for everything. So that didn't bother me, but she physically held me down and I was like, get off me. Just stop touching me.
Well, when you went up there as Eve, she was telling the other ladies next to her, saying, "That's my daughter." She was like Ethel. She was like Ethel Merman in Gypsy.
Well, all the women in my session were from my ward, so they were all very proud of me and so amazed that I played Eve, and it was with an 80-year-old man, and it was really weird.
And you didn't screw up your lines.
No, I didn't. I'm very good at memorizing things very quickly.
Well, congratulations. I didn't have a horrible experience at the temple, but I still wouldn't recommend it.
A fair number of ex-Mormons have told me that, and it's ex-Mormons who describe the experience as visiting with Cthulhu. And I've always found that very strange. It's like, I've read through alleged transcripts of the ceremony, and it seems relatively tame to me. It's just as
the part that
watch it on YouTube. It's
It
What I
also
like the
depends
best.
on which version, Alex, are you reading? I mean, there's multiple.
Yeah.
The version that's out
Oh.
there and recorded is not the one that's currently in the temple, unless somebody's recently posted that. The PowerPoint presentation that is the endowment today
Two
is nothing
words for
like.
the chat that everyone hates: prayer circle.
So
prior to 19,
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
is that DF? Yeah.
Yeah. So I grew up SDA, like I said the last time I was on the stream here.
Seventh-day Adventist.
Yeah, Seventh-day Adventist. And I grew up in a large Mormon area. I spent most of my childhood in Arizona, and everything north of like Phoenix metropolitan area, like in Arizona, everything north of that is Mormon territory. And you know, as a kid, I got extremely interested because I was surrounded by Mormons all the time. There are towns where 90 or 95% of the population is Mormon. And so it was just a curious thing to me. I'd get into discussions or I'd hear things, and it was all the magic underwear and the polygamy and the priesthood band. I heard about that. Like, how did these things like affect you, like growing up in your life? Because trust me, like Seventh-day Adventists have some things where we differ from, say, mainstream Christianity, but I just don't feel like we have the stuff like the polygamy and the magic underwear and stuff like that. We don't necessarily go down that route. So
you guys are cult light.
Yeah. Yeah, we're only on the fringes, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You just got you worship on the Saturday, and you know you have some dietary stuff, and that's basically it. You go see the doctor, don't you?
What's that?
You go see the doctor, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're hardly a cult at all.
I have
hospital.
Yeah, I have heard about some people who are more extreme. So and I've met some too, where they get into like the idea that the natural way of doing things is so much better than modern medicine that you have to kind of reject it. So there's like some extremists who don't want to go see doctors, who don't want to take modern medicine, but that's more on the outskirts of the group, I would say. Not the way I was raised.
We have lots weirder stuff in Mormonism. That's probably why you watch, isn't it, DF? Because you can look at the Mormons and say, man,
you make him feel better about his childhood. You're welcome.
Those guys are
Well,
weird.
you do kind of. I'll be honest about that. You do.
I win.
That's why Mormons watch shows about Scientology. It makes you feel normal.
Hardcore facts. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Well, so you were asking a question about how does all the weird stuff in Mormonism make us feel as we grow up?
Yeah, like, is it just so ingrained that you don't know any different? Or what is it? Like, if you grew up in the church, I'm just wondering.
You're not taught half of that stuff as a child. So I was raised in, but I'm not a Utah Mormon. I was raised in New Hampshire. So it's very different not being, hi DG, in the Mormon bubble out west, because you literally have to either do everything that the church is saying that the church does on the news everywhere else. So no polygamy, following the word of wisdom, blah, 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 blah. Or everyone, including the other Mormons, will shun you essentially. So you were the light on the hill and the chosen generation and all those things. I will not lie. I had a very magical childhood growing up Mormon in New Hampshire. I had a magical childhood anyway, but it still doesn't negate the fact that after I left that magical childhood and realized it was all a bunch of bullshit, that everything came crashing down. So
I agree with No Molly. I grew up here in West Texas my whole life outside of the Mormon bubble. And Alex, I guess to get back to your point of, shared experiences versus individual experiences, we all have shared experiences growing up within the faith, but there's so many outside factors that's going to be individual to us. I would compare it to being a Catholic in, say, Rome versus France versus attending Notre Dame. You're going to have different flavors of Catholicism, whether you're deeply ensconced closer to the headquarters versus far away. In DF's case, we used to refer to all of Arizona, Idaho, and Utah and parts of southern Nevada as the Jello Belt. You know, the Midwest is the Rust Belt. Out west, you have the Jello Belt because that's where all the Mormons are. But I had shared experiences with Utah Mormons, you know, based on different things. But my experience growing up here in Lubbock is vastly different than when I served my mission in Salt Lake and I saw how the true Mormons in Happy Valley lived the gospel. Is vastly different. So yeah, I mean, there are shared experiences, I think, church-wide, and there's also individual experiences based on where we grew up, you know, what our influences were, just so many outside external factors. But we're all still screwed up. I mean, the church, I think the one thing we can all agree on the outside is what it did to us. And, you know, it did a lot to us in many different ways and many, you know, through various people and things. I worked in the temple for almost 20 years here, and I could tell you how the sausage was made. And yeah, it's that was a huge part of my shelf, was seeing everything I saw in the temple, just going, what the heck? You know, the whole temple department is a completely separate religion from the church. I'll have you know, it's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I would say that it's probably similar to, I don't know if Seventh-day Adventists have this same thing, but I would assume that Catholicism does. You have different flavors of Catholic depending on, you know, where you grew up.
Well, there's a diversity of belief across all of Catholicism. So it's not unusual to encounter people who have different practices. They wear different scapulars. Some always wear rosaries. Some think it's inappropriate to do that. But to answer your question, the transcript that I read was from 1981.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the original. That's the original temple film from the 60s.
Okay.
With Gordon.
And there's the 1989 update, which carried until about 2000.
Well, what I noticed about the transcript was that it was almost identical to one of the York Rite Masonic temple ceremonies to open. Open the lodge.
Did you picked up on that? Did you?
I did. Open the lodge and then pass people through the veil, which is one of the first initiatory steps. But to get back to DF, in 1963, Anthony Heckema wrote a book called "The Four Major Cults of the United States: Mormonism, Jehovah's Witnesses, Seventh-day Adventism, and Christian Science." And the Christian scientists are the ones who don't believe in modern medicine.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Hey, Alex, I got a question for you, and then I got a comment. Okay, the question is about your observation. Whatever truth there may be in it, and I'm not vouching for it, but I know you said it, so I'm going to repeat it, which has to do with the variety of experiences of members in Mormonism versus Catholicism. I don't know if that has anything to do with the opening line of Anna Karenina, which is that all happy families are happy in the same way, all unhappy families are different, are unhappy in different ways. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but the best part, okay, this is what I've been waiting forever to say. The best part of the pre-1990 temple endowment is when Peter turns to the audience and says, "That is not dead which can eternal lie, and with strange eons, even death may die." Isn't that the best part?
Yeah.
When you do hard with Jesus, the heart becomes holy.
It's tough. It's tough having to wait so long to give the jokes, because then you're not getting them. It's a Lovecraft reference. It was in response to your Cthulhu.
Okay. I was wondering, when you said the best part of the temple ceremony, I was wondering if you're like waiting through a pile of shit to find the golden nugget. You know?
I found it. I totally found it. Hey, Impossible Mel is with us. Hey. Is that you or the dog? Who's Impossible Mel?
Can you hear me, or am I muted?
I can hear you.
Okay.
We hear you.
Yeah, it's me. It's not the dog. Hey,
well,
I've got a random. I'm good. Working late, got bored, my eyes crossed, and so I was listening to you guys while I was working, and that was awesome. So I'm glad you were all here.
What you were doing? What are you doing?
Taxes.
Your own or somebody else's?
Other people's. Oh. What we do for a good time.
Our hearts are with you.
I love doing taxes.
I may need your number.
I really kind of like it, actually. So, but
yeah,
I don't like it.
I love tax season.
Yeah, yeah. There's parts about it that are pretty great.
Like what?
But yeah, It's like doing puzzles. And that's pretty fun. You get to find the missing pieces and put them together, and it's very satisfying.
You know, that's really interesting because my girlfriend, Wendy, she helps out other people with taxes, family members. She's got a knack for numbers.
Nice.
She's never been to school, received training. But she also really likes jigsaw puzzles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think there's a connection.
Do you like jigsaw puzzles?
Wired that way. To be honest, I really haven't spent a lot of time trying to play jigsaw puzzles, but there's different kinds of number puzzles like Sudoku and things like that I really enjoy.
Yes, or as they say in Japan, Sudoku.
Southern Utah, what do you want, man?
There's this guy over here, okay? There's this guy, and his first name's John, and he's a lawyer, okay? And he does the New York Times crossword puzzle in freaking ink because he's one of those guys, one of those Mensa guys. And he does the Sudoku, Sudoku, which in Japan, because I know, because I went there, Sudoku, right? He can never say it right to save his soul.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
And every time he says it, I always says, or as they say in Japan, Sudoku, which is what you were getting when you said it. I apologize.
You know, we love your snobby ways, RFM. It's true.
I am so snobby. One of my favorite lines from Frasier, very funny snobby show, as you know, if you've seen it, right, is when Niles and Frasier are talking about going to listen to the orchestra, obviously in Seattle. And they were talking about when they were kids going to the orchestra, and Niles says, snootily, he says, yes, that was back when I thought the 1812 Overture was a great piece of music.
Oh.
I laughed so hard at that.
It is
I thought that was perfect. That's snooty.
Peter.
So what's the deal with your dog?
He's cute. I don't know. He loves me.
What's his name?
Charlie.
Charlie.
Charlie. This is Charlie.
Charlie.
He's gonna hide.
An impossible Mel. You see, Rebecca Biblioteca has a dog right by her whenever she's on the camera, but she doesn't bring it up. She doesn't put it in the camera unless I ask her to.
That makes sense. He's just upset I'm not throwing the ball currently, and he's pretty sure if I'm awake, I should be throwing a ball.
Yeah, you should.
Diamond Dave, what can you add to this discussion?
What, just about enjoying doing taxes? So I mean, I love math. I mean, I have a degree in accounting. I love math, and because I'm in, like, before, when I was living in the US, doing taxes were really dull for me because it's so simple and straightforward. But now that I live in another country and now that I've got money here, it falls under international tax law. It falls under international investments. I've done a bit of cryptocurrency, which is treated very differently here in Mongolia. And so it's like Mel was saying, it's also like a puzzle for me. And there's actually things for me to do and think about as opposed to just plug in numbers and do basic math in my head. So.
Okay, now people like Impossible Mel and people like Diamond Dave really hack me off. And here's why, okay?
Best news I've had all night. Go ahead.
I grow up, my dad does the taxes every year, for most of the time when I'm even aware of taxes, he's probably working at Boeing. And he just sits down, does the taxes, sends them off. And he always made a comment because I'd walk by at some point and look over and just think, that looks hopelessly complicated. I might make a comment, wow, that looks rough. Numbers. And he would always say, this is so easy. An idiot can do it. Okay. Because they tell you exactly what you're supposed to put in every single line. Then they tell you to subtract, and then they tell you to do this and do that. And anybody can do this. You'd have to be an idiot to actually pay somebody to do this for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe
So
back
fast
in the old
forward,
days.
I've gone through my 20s and I've been not earning a lot of money, but I've been studying a lot, both undergraduate and graduate in law school. Graduate 89, get a job, and I start January of 1990 at the local prosecutor's office. So by, I guess, April, I probably got to file some taxes in 1990. And I remembered exactly what my dad said. Actually, I remember where it was. So it was probably 92. Anyway, sitting down and trying to do it. And it seemed weird, but I knew I could do it on my own because, I mean, I'm not an idiot, right?
I know where the story's going. You go ahead.
I bet you know where, because I do it all up. I mean, we got one income in the house. Okay. It's not like we got a lot of investments going on. And I send it off, and dang, if that thing didn't come back to me saying I got it wrong, and now I owe some more money.
Yep.
And I just thought, oh my gosh.
It turns out you have to understand some of the definitions of things, and yeah.
So DG,
it's good.
Hey Alex, DG and Alex, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. Maybe I should say this to you later. But you know, were you talking about contacting Impossible Mel for tax advice? Is that what you were suggesting?
Yeah, I got questions. I got all kind. I was working on my taxes before the show tonight myself. So yeah, I've got trying to figure it all out. And one of the blessings of living in Texas is we do not have a state income tax, so I don't have to worry about a state sort of a thing.
In Oregon, it's the opposite. We don't have a sales tax, but we have it's really obscene income tax.
High tax rate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
Okay.
Here in Mongolia, it's a flat tax rate,
Yeah.
which is really interesting. It's a flat
That is
tax rate.
interesting.
So if you are a Mongolian citizen, you pay 10% income tax, flat. If you are a foreigner, you pay 20%, flat. Housing, a property tax for the most part does not exist. There is an exception, and I believe it's a flat 2.5%, just flat, regardless of whether you're rich, whether you're poor, it's just flat. And that's, I don't know about other Asian countries, but I do know other countries like globally have like a more similar structure because of like national health care and things like that. So it's more of a flat tax rate just universally across the board, as opposed to like brackets.
When I hear that, Diamond Dave, I'd like to think that I would be able to file taxes successfully in a country like that, but I think I'm probably giving myself airs.
It's actually you would actually probably enjoy it here easier, because if you like sit down with an accountant, like you have your bank info, right? Tally up all of it. Multiply it by 10%, done, right?
Yes.
And then if there's any if there's any deduct, so that's what you would start off owing, and then any deductions come after. And
there's deductions, so they're like not that they're credits.
Yeah,
there are some.
They're
Impossible Mel. Those are credits, right? Those are tax credits.
Well, some are deductions. Some are
credits. Yeah,
deductions are not credits.
But Diamond Dave was describing sounded like credits to me.
There are deductions, right? So you figure out what your like total amount that you owe first, or like the total taxable income, and then you do deductions, and then credits come after.
But RFM, you're an attorney. You should know the difference between a tax credit, a tax deduction, and a tax exemption.
I do, but Diamond Dave was confusing me with his Mongolian ways. And I'm not a tax attorney, and there's a good reason for it. We had a horrible tax professor, and the students didn't make it any easier on her. She was kind of high-strung, but I don't know that I would have had any better luck with a more gifted teacher, but I know that I wasn't going to learn anything from her. So I went and got a book and tried to study it. I passed that class by the skin of my teeth.
Good for you.
I knew that's not what I'm going to go into.
There you go.
What is your focus? Are you a
Criminal
prosecutor or a
criminal law? I was a prosecutor for 8 years and then a defense attorney for a lot more.
Do you ever do public work?
In terms of there was well, as a prosecutor, obviously, I mean that qualifies as public under your definition, right?
Well, like public defense or whatever.
I had a contract with the public defender's office for about 3 years with misdemeanors. I would take like 40 of the, was it 20 or 40? It was in the year 2000 or 1999. It's been a long time. Probably 20 cases, new cases a month. And I was on the conflict list in terms of if they have a case that was a felony that could not be represented by anybody in the public defender's office because of a conflict, then they have to have other attorneys outside the public defender's office who can represent a person in that situation. I was on that list, so I represented scads of people over the years in that way.
But no tax law? None?
No.
Okay.
No. Tax law is its own thing. In fact, I think tax law, you can get an advanced degree in it. Is that true? An LLC or something? I don't know. See,
I'm a
put that
chemist.
behind
I
me.
don't know.
I've got a mental
I think
block
an
on that.
LLC,
Impossible,
an
Mel.
LLC is not an advanced degree.
Yeah, it's
What
not an
LLM? Am I thinking of an LLM?
Okay, you
Yeah.
might
Oh,
be.
you were toying with me. Impossible, Mel. You're just impossible, Mel.
It's possible.
LLD. A
I thought that
doctor
was
of
a
letters.
car. No, it's an LTD.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
did a little bit too much LDS.
Yeah, he graduated with a BLT.
Not
from-
LSD.
I thought there was a light, like an LED. We know too many acronyms, I think.
Oh boy. I would agree.
RFM, real quickly, and I know you probably can't comment directly to it, but I'm just curious, what's the latest?
Well, I'm not going to say anything then. You're going to ask me anyway, huh?
No, what's the latest on the copyright infringement involving the church and the use of the word Mormon?
Ich habe keine Idee, mein lieber Freund. I have no idea, my dear friend. I don't know. I'm not involved in that at all. And,
really?
I say that, yeah.
Y'all weren't, you and Bill weren't being dragged into that yourself, or did?
No.
Oh, okay.
They don't want to go up against RFM.
I don't believe so.
Floor with all of Kurt and McConkey.
So that everybody understands. I think that I understand it enough to be able to communicate it because it's not about taxes. And that's is that what the church is doing with John is different than Bill and me. And the way it's different is that, okay, Bill, on behalf of Bill and me, went to file for trademark protection for the name Mormon Discussions and for Radio Free Mormon because there is a lame-o and is a lame-o, and you know who you are, out there who was doing knockoff podcasts under those very names.
Yeah.
And they're just cheap knockoffs. But Bill had gone to YouTube and said, hey, can you stop these people, get them tossed? And they said, well, do you have your name trademarked? Because we can't do anything unless you can prove to us that you have a legal right to the name. It makes some degree of sense. So Bill applies for a trademark, and that's when the church comes in and says, no, you can't trademark this name.
It's already
So-
trademarked.
I'm sorry, what?
They said it's already trademarked.
I think that's true. I think that's probably, yes. So Peter's entering the studio. Let me get Peter here.
I really think that there needs to be a class action lawsuit against the church in this whole using the name Mormon thing, especially when your prophet says it's a victory for Satan and all that stuff. So,
Pete, are you in your
I
garage?
think there needs to be a class action.
I was going to finish. Hey, Pete, we'll get right to you here in a second. I think I was in the middle of where was I going? Help me out, no Molly.
You were brought into arbitration over the Mormon trademark because of its
Thank you. That's why we got involved, and we just said, okay, well, we're not going to fight for it because we get to use it anyway. That was never an issue. Our using the name Radio Free Mormon or Bill using the name Mormon Discussions. That was never an issue. The issue is whether we could get it trademarked and get the protection in order to get the other guys kicked off. That's all that we were about. John, on the other hand, is different because it wasn't him going for a trademark. It was the church coming to him and saying, you can't use the word Mormon in your title.
So they were telling him to cease and desist, basically.
Yeah, stop using Mormon in your title.
Well, a lot of it had to do with trade dress because his logo, the typeface, his presentation style, it was too close for comfort for many in the church, especially Kirk and McConkey.
Cry about it.
But they also recognized...
Yeah, but they waited 20 years to do anything about it.
That's true, but if you notice, about 2 years ago, John DeLynn changed the color of his logo from orange or peach or whatever to blue. And I think that's when people started getting really upset.
But that particular shade of blue Looks like a copyright infringement. It looks like a lawsuit.
But there are other.
That's a comment. Was that your comment? Somebody made that comment. It's on a slide. But hang on a second. Let's talk to Peter here.
Peter, show us the car.
Show us your hot rod. Peter, can you hear me? Peter?
I think
your eyes are getting very sleepy. You're getting very sleepy, Peter.
It's that Australian Wi-Fi, man.
Hey, Peter, it looks like you're frozen, my friend. So hopefully you'll get a better, let me see here if I can find the slides here just for a second, because the reason why I think these are exciting is mainly because they're you. They're from the people in the live chat.
Ooh.
Hey, there I am. Me and my pal Harvey. Harvey. Thank you. So here's something. It was Chuck. It was Chuck who said it. That shade of purple looked like a copyright violation.
Wait, Peter, wave if you can move. Wave.
Pita.
Hi, Molly. How are you all doing?
Hey, Peter, if you can hear me, you might want to sign out and then sign back in, and I'll let you in, and maybe that'll help. Possibly. This is becoming unnerving. But that's what Chuck said. But that shade of purple looks like a copyright violation. Pretty funny and apropos to what it is we were talking about. Here's one from Tammy Cox. Oh, DG says, look at that. I didn't even circle DGs. It's Waka 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 Fozzie. Yeah. Tammy Cox says, why are they having gang members' funerals in the buildings, the church buildings? Remember? They wouldn't even let me have a bridal shower for my daughter.
Shameful.
Oh my gosh. I hope everybody here does watch all the different podcasts I'm on. This is from last week's, or might have been the week before, the newscast, where we're talking about the funeral that the gang people had at a church, an LDS church, where there's a shootout and 2 people killed and 6 injured. And then Tammy Cox says, why are they having gang member funerals in a building, a church building? They wouldn't even let me have a bridal shower.
So I had a friend who is close to that area, and I asked him what the story was, and he said they paid. That's why they were allowed to have a funeral there. And I'm not certain if that's true.
Interesting.
It's an interesting allegation, but I do know that there are certain Pacific populations that are favored by the church, so that could also be a factor. Who knows?
I do know in the past, when I've had some family members pass and done funerals, that I was told that the church prioritizes funerals, and they were willing to bump a wedding reception that was happening in the cultural hall for it. And I said, no, we'll be fine back in the Relief Society room as long as they don't care. But he said, the bishop said flat out that was the church's priority. They put a high preference on the funeral, even over the weddings. And the Mormons like their weddings. So
yeah.
I think it's because in the LDS church, a funeral is just a missionary opportunity.
Correct. A wedding is not. But yeah.
No,
we'll never let a good death
happening
go
in the chapel.
wasted.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
isn't that what Stalin said? That never allow a crisis to go unexploited or something to that
go to
effect?
waste.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Never let a good death go to waste.
That sounds like Goebbels.
Well, that's not Stalin, but I think it was a Stalin, unless he, got around. So
money can sure cure a lot of woes. That's for
Goebbels
sure.
gets around.
Those funeral potatoes are that good.
But I do think that, never let a crisis go to waste was said by somebody associated with Stalin, but I can't remember. If anybody wants to look it up, that's just fine. You can do that. Here's Mr. Ray, I have no idea. Mandibles. It's so funny because I see these names all the times.
It's rhythm and blues, basically, but Mr. Rhythm and Blues.
Ray is probably Ray.
Got it.
Winston Churchill.
You know what's so funny? Because they're such crazy names. Like your name, No Molly's here, which makes sense now that I know what it is. But
You're
I
welcome.
see these all the time, and I don't really read them in my head. I read your comments, after the show, but it just sort of registers. This is this person. Kinder Kim, that's pretty easy. Okay. DG, Geoplanet Jane. Yeah, I can. But Mr. Rhythm and Blues. Now I'll probably remember that. Rhythm and Blues. He said to Tim Rathbone, I couldn't go that far north. Huntington or Newport were my barfing grounds. I just thought that was a wonderful turn of phrase. Maybe I'm late to the party, having grown up Mormon. Have you ever heard of barfing grounds before? A place where you used to go and drink? Diamond Dave nodding his head in the affirmative. Anybody else?
That's usually a place. That's usually a place away from the bars and away from the cops where people can drink in public, and they also overdrink. So barfing grounds.
Yes, you know, and how much fun can one person have drinking till you barf? That's my idea of a good time.
Well,
Hot Rod, are you frozen anymore? I blink twice.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
There he is.
How are you doing, Hot Rod? Peter?
Yay.
Speak.
Maybe.
Sorry, RFM, I'm about 2 seconds behind you down here.
Holy cow.
He's on a delay, RFM. That's all it is.
Wait, that's Peter. That's Peter Diggs.
Yep.
How are you doing? How was Saturday?
Wait for it.
Day here, RFM, and no, I'm not putting any shrimp on the barbie because it's well past lunchtime.
Peter got the jokes.
Did someone say put shrimp on the Barbie?
Yes, Peter did. He said he's not going to put shrimp on the Barbie because it's past his lunchtime.
It was like he was expecting one of us to make that old hackneyed joke, and none of us did, but he responded to it anyway.
That's because I do every time in the chat just to be obnoxious.
But our exquisite timing is somewhat awkward because of the distance between us and Peter. So there's a 2-second delay.
It's always a little bit of delay when someone's speaking to us from the future.
The last time I spoke to RFM, he made the exact same.
It's the future. What can you tell us about your day and life in Australia, Peter?
Well, I'm actually I'm retired RFM after 30 years of soldering, and I spend my time in my shed or garage. I'm building a 1928 Ford hot rod.
Wonderful. When I was a kid, we used to mimic Australian soldiers. We would play army. And the thing was, and I doubt that it's true, but the thing was that we learned from TV was that the Australian troops had a hat and one brim was up flat on the side and the other one was out. And they would walk with one arm, march, and hold the other one stiff by their side as they marched. Is that true?
Yes, it is called a slouch hat. And yes, the left-hand side is normally turned up, but only for ceremonial occasions. And you only keep your left hand by your side if you're carrying something in that hand.
Okay, very good. So apparently TV was very educational back when I was a kid.
Hey, RFM, I've got
This podcast is
a Mormon
educational for
trivia
an MMI, I
question.
can tell you that.
Oh boy. Impossible, Mel. I'm sorry. What did you say?
Oh, I said I have a Mormon trivia question for you, but I don't know the answer, so I won't know if you're right or not.
Then lay it on me. I'll give you the answer right now.
Right?
15. Go ahead.
I remember being a kid, and single sisters or women who were married to non-members were not allowed to take their endowments out.
Right.
When did that change? Did that change the same time they removed the blood oaths, or was that a different?
I think that's under President Nelson. I think that's in the last 10 years.
That.
I think maybe, in a real hard case, but I think that President Nelson made it more common. I could be wrong. I'm not. Anybody else have any ideas?
I was a single sister and took out my endowments in 2011. And that had been happening before me.
And
that wasn't, you weren't going on a mission. Like,
nope.
Okay.
No mission,
that's
not
what I'm talking
engaged.
about.
I was 26 6, and I said, screw y'all, I'm going through the temple and you can't stop me. And my bishop said, okay.
Yeah, see, that's no Molly. But when did everybody else make it?
Other people were doing it too. I was not an anomaly. It was just discouraged.
They opened it up. But it became like Bishop's choice.
It was Bishop Roulette. Yeah. Leo Hona in the chat said early 2000s. Yeah.
Okay.
The reasoning that I was always told was they didn't want me to live the higher law without a priesthood holder, because then I would have a chance of falling and sinning greater. Basically, they were accusing me of being a whore before anything had even happened. So,
but the same things applied to women who were married to inactive people or non-members. I remember a kid growing up
who were doing all the causing us to sin anyway, and they had all gone on missions. So bite me.
Everything we keep from you is for your own good. That's what you have to understand.
I told my kids. They didn't believe me, but I did say it.
It's true.
It's funny. Molly says she's not an anomaly, but actually it's in her name. She is a Molly.
That's
funny.
RFM. But tip your waiters.
That was pretty good.
Good job.
It's not like I can ever use that joke again.
Tip your waiters.
You will. And I will encourage it.
Well, we're at 1:31. Does everybody want to go home?
I am home.
We're all home, but
yeah.
I guess I'm the only one who's not home.
Mm-hmm.
I dress up for this thing.
Well, RFM, since other people had asked me in the chat, I will just throw this out there. If at any point you want to start doing tryouts of co-hosts with you for Matt, I happily will volunteer to co-host with you. I won't always call in for this format because I want other people to have a chance.
Oh my gosh. Everybody, are you saying I don't have enough personality for 2 co-hosts?
Listen, I'm just giving the people what they asked for. Answer? So,
Okay, so I want to show you a couple more things here. Okay. So this is hang on a second. Whoa. Damn it. Excuse me, darn it. Okay. You see, when I put it up there, there's a little thing that goes up over that bottom part that has a right and a left arrow, and I can move the slides, but I have to get rid of it before I can read something that's down there that far. And I think we already read that one, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope so.
We talked about bargain grounds.
Now, this was a text exchange I had with somebody during Elder Holland's funeral.
Oh.
Somebody who was, that's Jim Bennett.
Oh.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'd taken a picture of him because usually you don't see pictures of him. He's described that before, right? Everybody know, raise your hand. Why? Because he's very tall and he's in the back row on the men's side. And they almost never pan up that high because after you get there, there's nobody else. So they want a camera full of faces, right? Well, that is he right there. His chin, anyway. He's 2 chins to the right. The second chin to the right on the top. But anyway, I had said good coverage because there's good coverage because you're included. And I said, will there be a 21 musket salute? Now, that's a rude thing to say during Elder Holland's funeral, but I said it anyway. And what I did not put on here is a slide of any possible responses that Jim might have made to that. Because I value Jim's privacy. Oh, this is more Jacob Hansen stuff. It's so silly. I just want to show you this, okay? And then I'll get rid of it.
Can we all agree that instead of using his name, we just call him Short Stack? That way we can avoid all potential.
Why Short Stack? Now that's the name of the kid on the second Indiana Jones movie, right?
Because he's a short little man.
Well, he is.
No, that was Short Round. That was Short Round, RFM. Short Round.
Oh, Short Round. You're right. Short Round. I hated that movie.
I just want to say, guys, it's High Priest Short Stack to you. Okay.
Is Jacob Hansen a high priest?
Oh, yeah. You guys don't remember that when he went after Julie Hanks and wrote a public letter and sent it to her bishop. He identified himself as High Priest Jacob Hansen. There was like a whole thing about it.
Really?
Wow.
Ew.
Wow. I'm a high priest, but I don't sign my letters that way.
I'm a high priest too, so I mean, we're all high priests. All the guys.
I'm a high
here,
priest.
You don't have to brag
what does it
about it,
even mean?
okay?
Alex isn't. Alex is no high priest. Are you, Alex?
I was ordained as a member of the Order of Preachers.
Would you like to be?
Okay, so Alex is a high priest too. Congratulations.
I left the order in 2001. So yeah,
Because he's never been a Mormon. That's why.
I've never been a Mormon. Yeah.
Would you like to be?
So
Short stack.
Short stack says, "LOL. I think you guys should get some new material. Maybe more people would show up." This is the problem when these things keep getting pushed down week after week after week. It becomes months, and pretty soon I'm talking about stuff that happened a year ago, and I got no idea what the context was. All I know is I said back to him, "You should be paying us for the education we're giving you." And he said, "You forgot to include the image that went with my comment. Also, who is Colby?"
Leave Colby's holes alone.
Oh, and somebody said you were the biggest chicken shit alive. LOL. I think that was me. But somebody else comes in and responds directly to his dumbass question of also who is Colby, which he thinks is clever. But Landon Pope.
Landon.
You know Landon?
So
you know Landon, Molly?
Isn't that Landon, Rebecca Bibliotex's Landon?
No, it's Landon Brophy.
Oh, my bad. No, I don't know this Landon.
Okay, well, here's what he says. He says, Colby is the guy who corrected your content to Jacob, short stack, after you fell flat on your ass for saying that if Joseph Smith had written the incorrect translations, it would be damning evidence that Smith was a fraud. You remember that video, right? Where you edited out the damning evidence but didn't change your conclusion. You moved the gravestones, but you left the bodies. You're a charlatan engaging in priestcraft for money who lies to his audience to save face. I hope the church is true, if only to witness St. Peter dressing you down at the pearly gates, for being a lying piece of shit.
Nice.
So that is from the episode Debunking Bad Apologetics, and it was on December 13th, 2025. And
I'm going to take your word for that because you sound like you know what you're talking about.
Well, it's a Google search.
Which is why I became a Mormon in the first place. Frankly. Here's a couple more comments. I want to get through just a couple more if it's okay. DG, I prefer Mormon hell to Mormon heaven. Why did you say that? Probably just because it's true. I prefer Mormon hell to Mormon heaven. You remember saying that,
Mormon
DG?
woman, I would agree to that.
I do, but yeah, skip down. There's a reason why.
Because that's where the party is.
Mormon hell has cookies. That's why I took the screen grab, because it went together. It was a twofer. It was a 1-2 punch by DG. Mormon hell has cookies.
Does Mormon hell have loud laughter?
Yeah,
I'll be there.
And evil speaking of the Lord's anointed. It has both.
And a stripper pole.
Including cookies. It's just hard to find the cookies because it's kind of dark. Yeah. Little outer darkness humor there. Moksha. Oh, Moksha. I don't know if he's with us tonight. I know him from the old board over there at Discuss Mormonism. He says German gave Dr. Peterson a Boston accent. Now, there's just a little bit behind this. And I'm going to end up concluding there's a clip I want to play, which I think I'm going to have to bring up as well. Hang on a second here. But German gave... Does anybody here know why Dr. Peterson and German as a language go together? I'm not seeing anybody.
Is he German?
No, he went on his mission to Germany. And he has said that a number of times. And so Moksha is saying German gave Dr. Peterson a Boston accent. Does anybody know about Dr. Peterson's accent?
No.
Wow.
I don't even know who Dr. Peterson is.
I don't know who that
Peterson,
is.
DCP, the Artful Dodger of Mormon Apologetics.
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's just funny because he has this affected accent, which he has affected for so long. And I just thought it was so funny. And I thought a Boston accent, I'm not sure it's a Boston accent, but it's definitely an accent that he came up with somewhere. I mean, the guy came from Utah. He is Utah born and bred. He went on a
thinks
mission to
he's cool enough
Germany.
to hang out with the New England crowd. Get out of here.
Is
Maybe
Dr.
that's
Peterson
what-
is Dr. Peterson the one about the tapir, saying that people misunderstand that the horses in the Book of Mormon were tapirs?
Yes,
is
Alex.
frequently
Colby
mistaken
just
for-
said it in the
Oh.
chat.
Oh,
Tapers.
Yeah, he's
Or-
frequently
Dan.
mistaken for being that person. He actually is not.
Taper
That was
Dan.
John Sorensen, but for whatever reason, DCP Daniel C. Peterson has ended up with the sobriquet of being that guy.
yeah.
Okay, so here's what I've got. Let me see if I can do this. I think I can. I'm going to share this screen, which I've been putting up together. And here he is, okay? Let me see. Excuse me, everybody. I'm going to take this down, put this up. Okay. And I can probably make that a little bit bigger. A little bit, okay? So here we go with this. Now, first minute, this is just the intro, so you can listen to Daniel C. Peterson, who's looking a bit long in the tooth.
Emma Smith, she actually tells about going over and feeling the plates, feeling the 3 rings on the one edge, feeling along the other edge where she can feel they're thick like the pages of a book. She can move the top plate against the one below and it makes a metallic sound as it scrapes.
But here's the thing that's so crazy is not only was it a correct guess, but sequentially, it was a correct guess.
The thing that amazes me is overall not just one thing, but the fact that this book, which should be the shallow product of a con artist, it should have collapsed ages ago. And the idea that it's becoming stronger, that the archaeology is beginning more and more to sustain its claims.
Hiram Smith went to Dartmouth, and then you're like, then I played for the Utah Jazz because I did junior jazz.
Right. But I remember thinking, okay, that knocked me for a loop for a couple of days. I was just really puzzled. Could have caused a faith crisis. Probably did for a few people. And so, but it's an example in my mind of cases where a little more learning will actually solve the problem for you.
So there we have an example or a sample of Dr. Daniel C. Peterson's accent.
That's not a
I'm
Boston
gonna-
accent.
No, I'm going to ask you if you could come closer, trying to identify what it is he's trying to
You're-
imitate.
You're muted, RFM.
I don't
got
think
to
so.
say it.
I can hear him.
I can hear him.
You have
Yeah.
falsely accused me. Now I must push the eject button. Impossible, Mel.
got to
You're
say it.
simply
Hold on,
impossible.
crunk.
She's like Bride of Chucky down there. What's going on?
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
What is with the knife?
His
Jeez.
This is a
accent,
margarita,
no.
so.
I didn't
His
even
accent kinda
hear an
sounds
accent.
Like one of those
You didn't hear an
old
accent.
news people, very neutral accents from like
Mm.
the 50s and 60s.
I don't know about his voice, but his appearance, it looks like he's doing a
I
Walter
agree.
Brennan impression.
I think he has a speech impediment based
He
on
looks
how
like a
he
Jimmy
as-
Buffett
yeah,
head with that
he
outfit.
aspirates his vowels. So, he's like, he says to pee here.
Not in public, I hope.
He says learning. Yeah, he aspirates his vowel. I think he has a speech impediment. I don't think it's an accent at all.
Friday.
I was gonna
And
say I didn't hear an accent. It just sounded like a generic American accent.
Moksha, wouldn't you, Moksha Raver is the one who said German gave Dr. Peterson a Boston accent. Wouldn't you be embarrassed if it were a speech impediment, Moksha? You're making fun of a man just because he has a speech impediment. Wow. I don't think that's it, but you may be right with the aspirated vowels and all that stuff.
Yeah.
When Jacob Hansen speaks or short stack, he also sounds like he has a speech impediment. I have no problem mocking him.
I wouldn't call it an impediment. I would call it a stammer for both of them. It's clear to me that they both have stammers to some degree, which is, I mean, great and all that they are able to control it to such a degree they can present in public. So
Sorry, Colby in the chat. Colby.
I'm impressed you guys can hear him at all with his head shoved so far up his ass.
Yeah.
There's so many people, I can't
Thank
get to
you
it.
for
There we go.
reading
There we
this.
go.
I
Thank you.
can't see the chat on my phone.
I'm impressed you guys can hear him at all with his head shoved so far up his ass.
well, I'm just trying to do the Christian thing and being charitable.
Leave
Yes,
his holes alone, Colby.
Excuse me.
Daniel
just
C.
called him a
Peterson's head is so
thoughtless
far up
pig.
his ass.
Colby
he's
is
doing-
on fire tonight. He's ready to throw hands. I approve.
But why is he not in the chat? I mean, not
I
in
am
the chat. Why
going
is he
to
not on
leave,
screen?
guys. I can't hear RFM anymore, so I'm going to just head out and listen to it on the live.
I'm
But
sorry.
it's great to hang out
The
with you guys.
impossible,
See you
Mel. If you
later.
can't hear me, it's
Bye,
not really worth hanging
Mel.
around. We understand.
Thank you,
And by the
Mel.
way, I've got this great line. Let me get this great line out, okay, before it gets too far away from it, okay?
Okay, go, Arthur. Go.
Daniel C. Peterson's head is shoved so far up his ass, he can do his own ventriloquist act.
Ooh, well done, sir.
Hey,
My
hey,
mute
I
is
have a
working overtime.
I have a question about those clips that you played.
Yes.
Them always quoting Emma Smith and her testimony of the Book of Mormon. Didn't she technically apostatize? I mean, she didn't follow Brigham Young.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
always talking
absolutely.
about don't quote the ones who left the church or the ones who didn't stay true.
I think it would be fair to say that she didn't fall away, she ran away.
They're going to use her and everybody else for when it suits their narrative. And then the second it doesn't suit the narrative, it's, oh, I never said that.
What's the one issue newspaper that church always forbade people from using as a resource is now considered legitimate and can
The
be used
Nauvoo
in prison?
Expositor?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
That's the
Now
same
the
thing they
church
do
is
with the
admitted.
membership.
Yeah, I've read the first issue, and the church is now admitted to everything that's in there. There's nothing in there that the church is not admitted to.
So you had the first issue as in the only issue.
Right. So Joseph Smith, as mayor, has a city council passed a resolution determining this press that published this thing to be a public nuisance, orders the sheriff to go down and abate the nuisance because of what's in this newspaper. This is in 1844. And then by the year 2015 or whenever it was that the church put up that gospel topics essay, the church is now admitted to the truth of everything that was in the paper that Joseph Smith went to great lengths to destroy, and which ended up having him in jail in Carthage for treason for that action when he was assassinated. Life's
you got
funny.
very serious, RFM. I thought you were going to make a joke about you're old enough to have actually seen the second issue being typeset, and then you were in the room when the goons came in and busted the title.
No, I wasn't.
No,
there.
that's
I was there
Tim
when-
Rathbone.
I was there when John. Oh my gosh, it was Tim Rathbone.
Why
That
is Tim
Peanut
catching
Dragon in his rock.
strays? Leave the poor man be.
That's
I was
like
there
a
when John
whole
Taylor
thing.
off Joseph Smith, though. Nobody was more shocked than I, except Joseph. Like, John, what are you doing?
RFM pushed him out the window.
Well, he was drawing all the fire. You would have too if you'd been there.
I would have been shooting.
You would have lit him
See,
on
he
fire
even
before
said
you
it in
threw him
the
out.
chat.
Oh, heck
Tim
yeah.
said
I
it
would
was
have lit him on fire. That's exactly right.
Well, everybody, hey, Peter, it's so good to have you back. You're muted, by the way. So we can't hear what you're saying 10 seconds later. There's Peter.
Yeah, thanks, Irene.
It's so good that you're here. Did you want to say anything before we go, Peter? Because I don't want to give you short shrift.
Sorry, did you say short shrimp?
No, I didn't, but it's understandable you would hear it that way. Because there's shrimp on the Barbie.
No, I'm just saying.
What are you thinking, Alex?
Thanks
Get
for
out of
letting
the
me in.
gutter for these for once.
I've been following you guys like 5 years, and you're just hilarious.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad that the humor translates transcontinentally.
Well, the humor translates because most of us who actually laugh at your jokes are, just a few years behind you. So everyone who is younger than we
You're
are.
ahead of me, eh? I'm leading this charge. No,
Let's
I
see.
don't think
You
there's anyone
referenced
here
Anna
who's older than
Karenina.
I just
You
turned
referenced
66.
Jaws, Poltergeist. You did reference, I believe, Adam Bede, but nobody heard. I heard, but you referenced Adam Bede. You've done 2 Shakespeare
Never
references.
purpose.
So
Well, that's over
I'm just
400
waiting.
years
I'm
ago.
just waiting for it's either Lovecraft, Nathaniel Hawthorne, or Herman Melville. It's all.
Remember,
It's
I
all your
did do
mistakes.
Lovecraft.
He already quoted Lovecraft earlier in the stream.
Were you asleep?
Alex, just admit you want to start an RFM fan cam and move on already. My goodness.
Everybody Google. Okay, just Google if you don't know it already, because it's a wonderful line. That cannot die, which can't, no. That is not dead, which can eternal lie.
Yes.
And with strange eons, even death may die. But I like the first line the best. That is not dead. It'll autofill for you from there. At least mine does. Maybe it's because it expects it from me. So who's got it first?
What?
That is not dead, which can eternal lie.
Oh, I didn't Google.
Did anyone? I heard someone typing.
I was typing to Peter in the secret chat.
I think that was DG who's typing. I think DG is typing.
No, I was
DG is
typing. I was
composing
typing
an email
to
to
Peter.
Rebecca Biblioteca.
I do what I want. I'm not
And
Googling.
DG, Rebecca knows a thing or two about taxes, by the way, if you want to bother her.
Yes, Katie, the secret chat for if you called in, you're in your own little private chat as well. So, secret or sacred, Peter? Good one.
Oh my gosh. Now you're reading the live chat. This is not going to work.
I do what I want.
I Googled it, RFM. What do I win?
There you go. DG will play your game.
You win a free night out with Rebecca Biblioteca.
Woo!
Whoa.
Now that's a prize.
But
Need not be present to win.
and I'll break the news to her later.
Does she have to travel to Mongolia?
This is for DG, not for Diamond Dave.
Just in Texas.
I'm married. Yeah, that ain't happening.
That's right. Peter, are you married?
Peter muted his mic.
Yeah.
He's not married. Okay. Hey, DG,
Yes, sir.
have we
was.
ever ascertained whether you're
Not
married?
anymore.
Have you? You know what happens when you ascertain.
No, but I know what happens when you assume. What happens when you ascertain?
The same thing.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay.
I am divorced. The faith crisis that me and my ex experienced not only destroyed our lives and our membership in the church, but also our marriage. And it's extremely triggering, I guess, painful. Still dealing with a lot of that. And actually, my participation here in MAD is kind of the therapy that I'm able to handle right now to help deal with that. But this is one of the horrible parts about the religion. I still love her to death. My marriage, I didn't realize this until it was over, but my marriage is a large part of, I think our being married in the church, especially a temple marriage, a sealing, is a large part of our identity as Mormons. And now that I no longer have that, it's crushing. It should be freeing, and she's the one that filed, so I should be happy, and it's the greatest thing she ever did was set me free. But it's also very depressing because that I'm realizing how important that was to me as a member, a true believing member. That my marriage to her was a big deal. It was part of my identity, and that I no longer have that is it's interesting. It's a big hole in my life right now. So. No, I'm divorced. I've been divorced for 2 years. 2 years now. We separated 3 years ago. I've been divorced for 2 years. So, and the dating scene here in West Texas, it's not easy. It's quite painful. And I had a friend ask me, goes, well, would you go back to church if it meant you could, get a bigger dating pool? And I'm like, no, I don't really want to do that because going back to church just for that just doesn't seem right. And so I'm open to any ideas and suggestions. And again, I'm holding out hope on the tarot reading last week that's going to pay off for me at some point. So
You gotta go find some fun community classes to join, DG. That's where the ladies are. Online dating is not it.
So you need to post pictures of your house. You need to post pictures of your car. You
Alex,
need to post
stop it.
Pictures, screenshots of your bank balance.
No, you stop that nonsense right now. We're
Well,
not looking
here's
for
a
a gold digger. We're looking for him for a partner. Okay, DG, does your community offer like here in North Carolina, they do after like 55, they do like senior events. Like they have like exercise classes and fun resources and things to do. If you have that in your area, look for that. Pottery classes, yoga, going to independent bookstores that have book clubs, highly recommend. Check out the library, see if you have that too.
Lubbock has 3 bookstores and they're all corporate.
Oh, no library. Sad.
Internet. So what? Like when I was in the church, no one would date me because of my past drug addiction and because I have a son who's 15. I left the church, and 6 months later, I meet my wife online, and that's how I got married. We never met in person. I met her in a Discord channel. So we met and we talked, and then I moved here.
Does your wife have a sister for DG?
She has a boyfriend and lives in Singapore.
No. Her sister
walking
does, not your wife.
Are great, DG. Go find a walking group.
Have you ever been to Lubbock?
No.
It's desolate, just brown and flat. There's nothing there.
I said walking, not hiking, not sightseeing, walking. Walking is a free activity and a lot of people enjoy it.
Have you been to Lubbock, Texas?
No.
So I think what Alex is getting at is nobody walks in Texas. Like nobody walks in Lubbock.
For one, the sidewalk may not go all the way. And number 2, the sidewalk may actually be part of the driveways. So,
hey, DG.
Doesn't anybody have high school tracks that people go walk around? I mean,
yes. Is there a YMCA?
Yes.
There is. There is a YMCA. It's mainly for youth, though. The YWCA.
Yeah, the YMCA is in Plainview, I believe.
Yeah.
The YWCA is in Lubbock.
Here they have what's called silver sneakers, so the older people can go have fun little exercise classes and do stuff. Go try that.
I back in 2019, I suffered a huge fracture of my left leg, and I was in a wheelchair for about 6 months. And then last year, January of last year, I broke the same leg again, and I've been in a lot of physical therapy. So stairs and exercise is not really a DG thing right now. I've kind of given that up for Lent, and but I do walk. I do go walking. So I walk at the university. I'm at the university. I teach at the university. So, I get what you're saying. It's just not, I don't know. I have dated. In fact, I took this girl I've kind of been seeing off and on for the last year or so. Here's the funny thing. When there was a 10-year age gap difference between me and my ex, I was 10 years older than her. We dated 18 days, and then eloped to Vegas. We got married in the Vegas Temple on the 9th of September, 1999, in front of 9 witnesses in ceiling room number 6, which is an upside down 9. So, and
that's why the marriage was doomed. Didn't they have a ceiling room number 9?
Not at that time. I think they do now, but at that time they didn't. And the funny thing is, we were the only LDS couple getting married in Vegas on September 9th, 99. I thought that was fascinating. When we went to the Taylor County Courthouse to get the marriage license, the line was, down the block because everybody and their dog was getting married in Vegas on 9/9/99. But the marriage lasted almost 25 years. And one of the things that I know this is TMI.
You got me beat.
Nobody really cares about I asked my ex, I said, why do you want to get divorced now? And she said, I don't want to be married to you for 25 years. So our marriage lasted 24 years, 11 months, and about 3 weeks. So we were like one week shy of our 25th anniversary.
9 days shy.
Yeah, 9 days shy, right? But, we dated 18. This is another thing that's, I think, unique to Mormonism. We dated 18 days and said, okay, let's do it. And I had almost a quarter century marriage out of it. So this girl I'm seeing now, you know, I've been seeing her for well over a year, and she's already friend zoned me, but that's okay. I said, I still need friends. I need the one thing I'm lacking right now is a whole lot of friends. But we went to dinner tonight and had a wonderful time. So it's not like one thing I did learn about dating, and I've dated a handful of people so far. I'm probably not ready for it. What I realized is that I'm not in a place to really. I guess in reflection, it's like I need to work on myself. There's a lot of things I need, and getting out of a high demand religion is a big deal. So I really appreciate. Since I've got the floor, I'll actually tell you what I originally wanted to come on the show and say. RFM, I really appreciated Wednesday's show with Sam Young. I can't tell you how much that meant to me, and to see him and to hear his story and to hear what he is doing to protect the youth. And I don't know why. Somehow it hit me right in the feels, and I was just tear jerking and crying through most of his story. I was just like, good gosh, what, I think it's in the scriptures. What parent would give their child a stone to eat? I think, that's in the New Testament somewhere. And what he was, yeah. And that's what he was basically saying. What father in his right mind, upon learning that his daughters were being asked these inappropriate questions, what the hell would you do? And I'm thinking, dude, it's Texas. You're allowed to shoot people. This is kind of a thing that we're known for. But he didn't. He did the right thing, and he brought it to light. And I'll just address the garments in the room, if you will. You'll notice what I have posted on my wall.
Oh my gosh!
If you're paying
those
attention,
Sam boxers?
Yes, they are. I thought, if Sam can bring indiscretions to light and post his boxers and frame his boxers on his wall, why the hell not? There's probably a better symbol for Sam Young, but this is kind of my title of liberty for Sam Young, is posting my boxers on the wall. He actually brought to light so many of the indiscretions of the church and continues to do so. And so do the good folks at Floodlit. So, no, Molly, I think you should do the same thing.
I got rid of all my garments.
That's not garments. Those are boxers. Those are not temple garments. That if you weren't paying attention early in the episode on Wednesday, Sam Young pointed out, he goes, this is such a Mormon thing. Who in their right mind would go out and buy a pair of regular underwear and know the date and time and the cost? And he did. And so he framed his first pair of regular boxers, and it's on the wall behind him. And I thought, that just speaks to me in some strange way. But yeah, it just reminds me of the indiscretions he's brought to light, just like, our garments are supposed to be kept sacred. And, but, he has done more to expose the horror and the true evils that are going on behind the church, and basically proving the church does not protect the children and will not, and is actually opposed to protecting children. And that's why he got excommunicated. But I just wanted to say thank you to you and Bill and Randy Bell for that marvelous episode. And oh gosh, the content y'all are producing lately is just off the scale. And I really appreciated that. But yeah, it's kind of a weird, very strange Mormon way of saying that's my tribute to Sam Young on my wall, is just a regular pair of boxer briefs, because he's brought to light the indiscretions of the church.
Thank you so much for saying that. And I hope Sam's watching. I know he had to go to a play with a grandchild who was in it, so one of those things. So he may not be watching tonight. Of course, he may actually be watching while the play's going on.
Yeah, maybe.
So it's one of those high school things that I used to go to.
Yeah, I'm not hanging up my underwear on the wall, DG. Sorry. I have to hang up my bras at night anyway, and you don't get to see that. That's a paywall.
But it seems to be a rite of passage for a fair number of ex-Mormons to actually join the rest of the civilian population. Even Nemo made a big stink about, what's good underwear, because he finally gave up his garments. So,
Yeah. Well, going back to what DG was saying, I'm kind of curious from the Catholic perspective, because getting married early is not actually unique to Mormonism. I'm Hindu, and I know of many cases where people will meet in arranged marriage situations You know, the boy and the girl will meet twice and then they get married and they'll still be married. And in me and my wife's case, we talked for maybe we talked to actually get to know each other for maybe about 2 weeks. And then we're like, okay, yeah, let's be in a relationship. And we started making plans for me to like move to Mongolia with about 2 weeks. What's that like in Catholicism? Is it also like pretty quick, or does it vary?
It varies based on the tradition, but most couples that have their marriage convalidated are actually already in a civil marriage. So the average for marriages in the church is actually trending a lot later. So I think it's past 28 in the United States. But most of the people who marry in the church have already been married civilly. But the divorce rate is still pretty close to the national average compared to the high demand religions where there's a lot of pressure not to get divorced. So in Catholicism, there's no such thing as divorce. What happens is your marriage is annulled, meaning the work of grace, the sacrament that was issued to you as part of marriage, is withdrawn, saying that it should not have been given. So if you go to a Catholic priest and said, I've been divorced, then they'll give you an annulment. So an annulment and divorce in Catholicism are equivalent. And that's wherever the national average in the US, definitely, it's the same in the Catholic Church.
It's about 95% now.
But I don't know what it would be in the Mormon tradition if there was no pressure to remain married, if there was somehow some sort of problem in the marriage, or if people are just proven not to be compatible with each other. And I've been told by
Mormonism, Alex, I'll tell you the secret, okay? In Mormonism, you only need to have one thing in common in order to have a successful marriage. That's your religion. If you're both Mormon, everything else is negotiable. Did you know that, Alex? I mean, this is how we grew up, being told this.
Yeah.
So we understood that the most incompatible people in the world can make a go of it as long as they're both Mormons.
No. No.
Well, there's the whole thing is of what the church says, same-sex attracted couples, or the mixed attraction couples. I mean,
the mixed orientation.
Right. So you have a male or a female in the marriage who, are very gay, but they marry someone who is not very gay, but they're still together. And many of these couples that I'm aware of have been married for 20, 30 years. But
a lavender marriage.
But it's enough of a feature that in the miniseries Angels in America, there's a Mormon character who is coming up to Roy Cohn, who is in the series, his character there, and he's talking about himself being a Mormon, and Roy Cohn, who is not, says he knows Mormons, and the Mormon character says Utah mostly, but Roy Cohn's character says no, these Mormons are in Vegas, and what he's referring to is that in Vegas there is a well-known open secret where gay men in established Mormon marriages go to Las Vegas to mess around with guys, and it's accepted. They remain married, even though everyone around them knows exactly what they're doing. That would not fly in a Catholic marriage. The couple would split. I mean, there would be no negotiation. It just, okay, we're done. But there's so much pressure. There's so much pressure in high demand religions to remain married, regardless of whatever the particulars are.
That was weird to me when. Go ahead. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, when I joined the church, that was like kind of that was like a weird thing for me, because I heard what RFM said, like the only thing you need to have a successful marriage is the same religion, and that was what I was told when I joined the church and when I was like trying to date and things like that. But that didn't sit right with me, because like from past dating and even like talking with my wife, like we, at least from our faith backgrounds, because she's Buddhist and I'm Hindu, it's very much, what is your religion? What is your politics? What is your view on finance? What is your
favorite color?
What is your view on marriage? Like, what do you believe your role as a husband or as a wife is? And that's hashed out like immediately. Because if one of those like kind of big things aren't compatible, it's not going to work at all.
Right.
So that just never sat right with me.
I got married to someone from my same church. I was only married for a year, and it was a huge disaster. And we're not compatible. But that was the thing, is I didn't get married till I was 33. And I was always waiting for that right person. I was always waiting for the person who was in the church, who believed, who, I had all that religious belief in common. And so I finally thought I found the right person, and it was terrible. But I'm divorced and single now, and I live in Boise, Idaho. So if there's anybody in the chat.
Come to Mongolia. Wait, you're 33?
I was 33 when I got married. I'm 44 now.
44? You could still come to Mongolia, find a wife.
No, DF, you make a good point. And I was 30 when I got married, and she was 20.
You're how old, DG?
I was 30 when I got married.
30,
so, and I was aging out of the singles branch here. So it's a double whammy because, living here as a Mormon, growing up here as a Mormon, we weren't allowed to date outside of the faith. And the circle of girls that were in the church and in my ward, they weren't going to give me the time of day. So, I didn't really date a whole lot of non-members here, even though I was one of the few members in my school, both my middle school and high school years. So, when my ex came along and she proposed to me, this is the funny part. She actually proposed to me and I accepted. So, I was like, I'm getting old in life. I'm an old maid, and let's do this. But because I was not able to date and I did not get that practical experience, now I'm like, okay, I'm free. I can date anybody I want to. What the hell do I do? I went with my high school friends to the honky tonks back in the 80s, and we would go dancing and they would drink. But I would
do the Cotton Eye Joe?
Oh, we did all of it. The Cotton Eye Joe, both versions, the good and the clean version and the not so clean version. It was a thing, but I didn't ever see it as a date. I was only allowed as a member to date other members, and only then after the age of 16. So, I remember the first triple date I went with some of my other friends from church, but it was not going to end up in marriage. They didn't see that in me. My ex was not from here. She actually came here to go to school, and that's how we met, was through the university and through the singles branch.
She wasn't a student?
She was a student. She was not my student, but she was a student at the university, and that's where we met, was at church. Yeah. So, like I said, it was a whirlwind romance of an entire 18 days, and then the marriage lasted just 9 days shy of 25 years. Mm-hmm. So now I'm thinking, if I date this girl for a year, what's the outlook what's the tarot reading on that one,
Look, I knew both my wives much longer than 18 days, and we didn't make it anywhere near 25 years.
Well, this
22 years we did, but that was really a prison sentence.
But that's right. But that's what the church taught me was, you make it work, you suffer through it. Divorce is worse than death.
Oh, yeah.
It's shame. But, and that gets back to the point I made earlier about how, my marriage was a huge part of my identity. And now that I'm not, how do I identify myself? I don't know. Single, divorce, separated. Therapy,
babe. I'm not kidding. It works.
Oh, I'm sure for you, but there's not a whole lot of therapists out here in West Texas that aren't related to the church. So
I bet we could find you one if we looked a little harder.
Mormons have a monopoly on the therapy stuff out there in Lubbock?
They do. The HDFS program here is all LDS. And in fact, I dated a girl back in the mid 90s, and she was working on her PhD. And I actually, I knew the department chair of that program. He was a non-member. And I said, Mormons own this program. What's up with that? And he said, we get great graduates from BYU. They come to our program fully prepared. So I guess if there's one thing to say about BYU, the therapy programs they have are bar none. I mean, they're, top notch, and they come here, and most of our stake presidents, most of our bishoprics all come from that department because they're all from Utah, basically.
Try looking through your healthcare provider, somebody who's a little further out on Lubbock and does online sessions.
Well, I would love to do Bill Real and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting her name.
Teresa.
Okay. But they meet. I guess their online sessions are Tuesday night, and I've got a prior commitment on Tuesday nights. Otherwise, I would already be doing that. But no, I realize there's options. I'm right now, this is the therapy that I like most. It's my favorite therapy is Mormonism After Dark with my fellow mad crowd. But that's my story here in West Texas. But thanks for asking.
Okay, here's the only question I got. Okay, this gal who has friend zoned you, right?
Yes.
So you still go out to lunch even today. You're not paying for her, are you?
Oh, absolutely.
You're making her pick up her tab, right?
Oh no. I'm happy to do the right thing. I'm old school.
Okay, I think I've identified the problem. You got to start being a little meaner. Chicks dig the mean guys.
Well, she did tell me, she goes, "You're such a nice man." And I'm like, well, maybe what if I don't want to be? Because nice guys finish last, damn it. And, I'm tired of finishing last.
Don't. Just don't pay
this is
for
like
her.
Sam the Butcher
I say this
pretending
as a
to be a
single
mean
woman.
guy.
If we're friends, I don't expect my friends to pay for me ever, male, female, or whatever. So, no.
See? No way. She's got to pay her own way.
Yeah.
I do have a question for DG.
Oh, go ahead.
DG, Are you the DG who was the general manager at KOHM in 2004?
Guilty as charged.
Okay,
What?
so we have met.
You have?
Yes. I was at the time, I was the skinny, nerdy, really awkward fella who came up to the offices at KOHM and brought a case of CDs of Devendra Banhart, of Sufjan Stevens, of Swans, of Michael Girard. Yeah, we met. You were very kind to me. You took the CDs. I don't know if you ever added them to the inventory, but you did take them for me.
I'm sure we did. That's that's been well over 13 years ago.
Help me out. What's KOHM? I'm guessing it's a station.
I work in radio. I'm in broadcast, and I manage the NPR public radio station here. It was a classical FM here for about 10 years. And so I've been doing broadcast for about 30. And
KOHM was
that was the radio station. That was
okay. So KTXT, whichever one was the college radio station.
That's where I'm at now. So I work at KTXT. I'm over the student radio station now.
Whatever. I went to that office thinking that you told me no, that's a different office or something. But you took the CDs from me.
Right.
Yeah. Because there was a DJ who said, "Well, I don't have what people are requesting," and I was like, I have these piles of CDs that I got from the college radio station in Canyon at WT.
Okay.
So I said, I'm just going to give them to these guys because I don't have any use for them, and I listen to the college radio station all the time. So it's my little pay it forward. And and we met. Okay. You were very kind. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it pays to be nice, and that's one thing I've learned about living here in Lubbock. It's so small. Don't burn bridges because it will come back to bite you at some point. But no, I do radio. That's what I do at the university. I'm over the student radio station, and I love it. It's not really work, They pay me to do this. Yeah, it's kind of that kind of thing. So,
well, who knew? And I helped a friend once on a couple of Sunday mornings go up and play jazz at some kind of, it was a university where it was up in Bellingham. What is that? It's Western Washington, WWU.
Right.
And they had something. Anyway, he was just a friend. He was in the church, right? And he says, "You want to go with me?" I was probably getting divorced at the time. I usually am. And so I didn't have anything to do on Sunday mornings. And we'd go up there to Bellingham. It was a bit of a drive. And then he would get the records. These were records out of the sleeves and put them on the turntable and take some kind of a brush thing and then turn it on and brush them off and then put that thing down. And we were DJing. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Epic.
Yeah.
Epic record. What is that record exactly?
It's Cheap Trick at Budokan.
Famous classic record. Did you get that recently? Is that a repress?
It's not a repress, but I did get it recently, but it's not unique. Like I have a whole lot of records. I love records. So
we should have a record party sometime and everybody bring their favorite, except we can't. Hotel California. Oh yeah, I can see that from a mile away in the dark.
That was something that my grandfather played that on repeat. He played it on repeat. I know every song by heart. Yeah.
On that record?
Hotel California, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he had an automatic. It would flip the record. It would continue. It was continuous play. So unless he turned it off, it would just keep playing.
And it did.
Yeah.
This is some proof of our call letters were KOHM, and 89.1 was where we were, and we were the classical music station.
Which one was the college radio station?
That's KTXT, K-Texas Tech.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I actually have a couple.
Keep showing us DF. Cool.
Ooh.
Now here's a quick. I don't know. So here's a quick fun story.
Iron Maiden.
Here's the thing. I got these from an Amazon order I did not make at all. Now here's the thing. This is when I met my wife. Now here's the interesting thing, and I thought it was kind of sweet. I was gonna get rid of them, but my wife told me to keep them because Iron Maiden was her deceased father's favorite band.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of like and then this one is like his style of like dress that he was like really, really into.
What kind of, is there a word for that kind of, what is that kind of dress?
It's like, so it's like, I can't really describe it, but it's more like kind of an 80s style.
Yeah, that's
like
80s glam. 80s glam.
Yeah. So, cause like her father would wear like leather jackets and he was a very famous artist here in Mongolia.
Oh.
So since we were talking about records, I figured I'd share that because the day we actually decided to like start dating was the day I got these.
Ooh.
Nice.
So
and I didn't even order them.
Influence involved?
You
think her deceased dad placed the Amazon order for you or something?
We actually do have thoughts and like spiritual beliefs about that.
Yeah, you see, I knew it. I could tell.
Yeah.
There's your testimony voice there.
Yeah, I mean, we do have that in our belief systems. Just the timing is kind of coincidental. It's a nice thing.
It is.
So,
and I'll try not to make any. Look, I'll go look at all these things. ZZ Top, cool.
ZZ Top.
I'm going to get my record from back here. I'll show you. We're going to close out the show, okay? Because I'm going to give you a chance to laugh at me.
As
Rolls
he feels
away.
away. Quick, everybody, say something mean about RFM. Go.
He's bald.
Wow.
What the heck was that? What was that? You guys, what were you doing?
I was inciting a riot, of course.
Well, that's expected.
Duh.
You know, if you do it in Mongolia, that's called an international incident.
It's
something.
a
Nothing is going to happen. That's why I want to start a Mormon podcast here in Mongolia because the church can't do anything about it.
RFM, put that at the camera.
I have it just at an angle because of the reflection. Anyway, this Matsuda Seiko, she was very popular back when I was on my mission. It's North Wind was the name of the album.
And it still has the obi strips on it, which means it's incredibly valuable. Don't throw that away.
It has the what strips on it?
The strip. That's the piece of paper that wraps around the orange piece of paper is incredibly valuable.
Not broken.
Yeah. So
over here it talks about the discography.
Uh-huh.
Here on this thing. It's
yeah,
I didn't get it when I was down there. Is there even a record in here? I don't know. I'd have to open up to find out. And here's the really valuable one. Okay. Here you go. If you can see that one.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's Linny and the Squigtones, guys.
Yeah.
From Laverne and Shirley from their show. It was live record.
You are showing your age. It is so amazing. It's a beautiful
I love these guys. They were so
Alex.
funny.
Don't start.
And so talented.
Well, all of his jokes are they're old man jokes. They're great. I love them.
Hey,
RFM.
RFM.
One of their
RFM,
songs. One of their
he's
songs.
your
One of the
daddy
best
and move
songs.
on.
DG is called "Love Is a Terrible Thing."
Hey, RFM, you served your mission in Japan, right?
So desho. Is this Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto?
No, this
it?
is Bow Wow.
It's too
Oh,
dark.
wow.
It's Bow Wow.
I'm sorry.
Is there?
Is that Japanese?
Yes, it's a Japanese band.
It is Bow Wow.
It's Bow Wow. It's a Japanese band. This album is called Shockwaves, and it's a Japanese hair metal band.
Yeah.
From the 80s.
From the 80s.
Yes.
When were you in Japan?
80 and 81.
Oh.
But I wasn't listening to this kind of stuff. I don't know how I knew about Matsuda Seiko, but all the missionaries seemed to know about her. She was really popular, like a Britney Spears of her day or something like that.
Were you guys allowed to listen to radio?
Hell no.
Leah Hona says your record could be worth up to $5,000.
Easy.
Leah Hona's been known to exaggerate.
Okay.
Yes, and so could this one. This one could also be worth up to $5,000.
Well, it depends on the condition of the sleeve and the actual record inside.
I'm saying up to $5,000.
Up to.
Which I think means anywhere between $0 and $5,000.
It's like all those folks that go up to Antiques Roadshow thinking that their little desk set is worth 20 grand, but no, it's worth $20. And
I did find the #1 Dracula comic book at a garage sale back when I was a kid. I was pretty thrilled by that.
You still have it?
Everybody else is saying DG. Hey, guess what? We're almost at 2.5 hours. You know, this is an hour and a half show that we're almost 2.5 hours into.
I love it. I love extra.
Time is relative.
Right.
He's such an Einstein. So here's the deal, Lamille. The deal is this, is that actually I was going to cut us off at about an hour and a half. And then DG started getting real.
Sorry.
And no. What I realized was that was the point of the show. You see, as things fell out, the point of the show happened at the time the show was scheduled to end. And that's why I intentionally said, okay, we're going to keep going. And so is DF. I think he's got every single record that's ever been made in the history of records. This is amazing.
So
incredible collection, especially since we don't even use those anymore.
So of all
I have a record player.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Of all the faith and testimony meetings, how would you rate this one? Of
I thought it
all
was really good. I thought
you...
the last hour was really good. Fast and testimony meetings really don't get to me.
Oh, it's fast. Okay, fast and
like
testimony.
when I was a kid, because generally people are out there being fake.
Yeah.
Fake as F.
I've been to 3 in my lifetime, and twice of those 3, 2 of those 3, I heard some of the strangest shit I'd ever heard come out of the mouths of
no one's talked about seeing Jesus in their wood pile or fish tank.
Somebody was grateful to God or to the Savior because they found their lost keys.
Yes.
There was someone who was talking about an apparition in her basement, but I couldn't follow. There was another person who performed an exorcism on her cat. And then the second one, the next week, was incredibly intense because people were admitting to crimes they committed, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
Yep.
Wow.
Oh my God!
Great.
We had a little bit of that earlier on the show.
Yeah, that did happen.
And most of the cats I've ever met could use a good exorcism. There's just something about a cat. I don't know what it is.
So you're not a cat dad at all?
I am, actually. They love me. I've got plenty of pictures because they come and visit, and I give them milk and treats. And we've got one who will not eat the food. Actually, 2 who won't eat the food. There's Princess and Cal that you asked. So they only eat the treats. They come for the treats. They say, screw the food, just give me the treats.
You haven't paid the cat tax once, RFM.
I'm sorry, what?
You haven't paid the cat tax.
The cat, I pay it every night.
No, we don't get to see pictures of the kitties.
Oh, I'll try and do that next time. I don't have any slides with them on. I think I've shown one once. Quiet Riot. Oh, Quiet Riot.
I don't know how long ago that was, but I don't remember you showing cat pictures. So I want pics, or it didn't happen.
Okay, then it didn't happen.
Wow.
What happens between me and the cat stays between me and the cats.
My cat needs an exorcism.
Hey, DF, do you have anything by Queen?
I don't have any Queen vinyls. I got plenty of Queen CDs.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
Not good enough. Why don't you have any Queen vinyls?
I've only
You don't
been
know-
collecting for a couple of years on vinyls anyway.
Any Partridge Family?
Oh my God.
What is that? What is that? Can you-
This is Spinal Tap,
Tap.
Break Like the Wind.
Well, fantastic. This is great. You just keep holding those up to the camera,
yeah.
and we'll all go home now. That's amazing.
Speaking
So I gotta
of,
tell you, okay, there's another one, and
Spinal
I-
Tap, Smell the Glove, the None More Black album cover. If you know, you know. If you know,
Apparently
you know.
Alex knows.
It's the None More Black album cover. That's what this is referred to as.
The
I
parody of
actually
the
want
White
to
Album
get.
from the Beatles.
I want to actually get the actual Smell the Glove album cover though, but I have the None More Black one right now. I have
There
two
you go.
copies of the None More Black. So
That is so cool, but no Partridge Family.
no Partridge Family. Just that's not really my style.
Yeah. Well, I was a member of the fan club, but that's a story for another day. It happens between me and
Would
Mrs.
you get
Partridge.
really, if he held up an Osmond Family album, would you get really excited?
You're talking DF?
I'm talking to you, Mr. Real.
My
The one
sister
bad
found
apple.
one last
Oh my
week.
gosh, it still
and I
says Bill
started
Real, doesn't it?
cackling.
Oh, that's so funny.
It said Bill Real the whole show.
That's right, Bill Real. He's still with us in spirit. I need the exorcism.
Do you guys remember the Salt Lake Olympics opening ceremony and the Osmond brother and sister, whoever they are, they got
Donnie
up to
Marie.
sing?
Donnie and Marie?
Yeah.
Donnie Marie.
And the announcer said the
remember
first
that.
couple of Utah. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah. No, I didn't.
That was a Freudian slip.
I see that one.
That wasn't a Freudian slip.
First couple of Utah. It only sounds weird outside of Utah.
Yeah, outside of Utah, yes.
They're actually brother and sister, and they're not legally
know.
married,
Oh, we know.
to my knowledge.
Well, the rest of America knows who they are, too.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding? Donnie and Marie. Everybody knows who Donnie and Marie are. He's a little bit country. She's a little bit.
Rock and roll.
See, everybody knows. Even DG out in the West Texas town of Lubbock. And there's, I don't know, is that Crazy Horses by the Osmonds?
Oh,
no, this is Against the Wind, Bob Seger.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Crazy Horses. My mistake.
Y'all,
All right,
I
you keep
love
going.
but I am tired.
We're at 2:32. We don't want to get you tired. We need to leave. Okay, Ron
Okay.
Burgundy. Ron Burgundy.
Stay
Getting on
classy.
my nerves, Ron Burgundy, with the records. Okay. Ixnay on the Eckerd's Ray. We're gonna
classy,
say goodnight.
stay
I'm gonna let
beautiful.
all of you go, and I'm gonna let everybody don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm gonna let you all go. Love you, DG. See you, Diamond Dave. It's been a pleasure. Alex the Never Mormon, always choice. No Molly's here. Bye bye. And DF. Okay, now I got rid of everybody else. You can just spend the rest of the night showing me your records. I'm kidding. Get out of here. I love you, but I have to be brutal. See you later, DF. Okay, hopefully next time. And everybody, please join me tomorrow night at 6:00 p.m. Mountain Time for an incredible episode of Radio Free Mormon with Randy Bell. We're going to talk about his research and what it has turned up with the Dartmouth connection and how it connects to the Book of Mormon in a strange, unusual, and amazing way. So everybody, thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great night and a great weekend. Bye-bye.